Chapter 235. I've lost. Ran Xia looked at Wang Zhong gloomily. Just as she had guessed, Wang Zhong did not lose. Instead, he defeated his opponents one by one. Now, his only opponent was the class monitor, Linda. That's right, Linda was a strong girl. She was the same as Wang Zhong, a very hard-working student. Ha! Linda defeated the vice class monitor with one punch. Now, her only opponent was Tang Yi. Tang Yi, I didn't expect you to be more powerful than the sports committee member. Linda said with her head held high. It's okay, it's just a coincidence. Wang Zhong never liked to show off. When others praised him, he would just casually say a few modest words. Do you need to rest? I don't need to. Linda said. I don't need to either. Then come. Wang Zhong walked to the front and stretched out his hand to Linda. Please advise me. He did not look like a child. Instead, he looked like a martial arts master. The class teacher, Zhou Xiaolan, was secretly surprised. Linda's martial arts moves were very standard. Because of her long legs, she was good at leg techniques. Continuous normal kicks. This move, very few people could master it. But Linda had mastered it. Thus, with this move, very few people could be her opponent. Continuous normal kicks. Linda shouted and kicked towards Wang Zhong. So. 3 continuous kicks. Wang Zhong dodged at the first moment. Linda was not surprised that Wang Zhong could dodge. She had seen Wang Zhong's moves. She knew that this ugly person's movements were very fast. Thus, she saved her trump card for last. Donkey's kick. All of a sudden, Linda flipped over and used her hands to support herself on the ground. Her legs kicked towards Wang Zhong. Oh my God, Linda actually learned the donkey's kick. A student who learned the donkey's kick exclaimed. Although the name of the donkey's kick was ordinary, it was extremely overbearing. It was a kick with both legs. It was very difficult to learn. But once learned, the power of the kick was very strong. The class teacher, Zhou Xiaolan, also frowned. Linda learned this move so early. Seems like Tang Yi will definitely lose. She smiled. She didn't expect that there would be 2 seedlings in the class this time. Tang Yi had only been here for less than a year and already had such strength. His future achievements were limitless. Unfortunately, it was a little ugly. Of course, as a teacher, she treated all the children equally. Therefore, Zhou Xiaolan was very caring towards Wang Zhong and strictly forbade the students from calling Wang Zhong by his nickname, Ugly Bastard. Just when everyone thought that Linda would definitely win by using the donkey's kick, a shocking scene occurred. All of a sudden, Wang Zhong stretched out his hands in front of his body to protect himself. He exerted his internal energy. Bang bang! He firmly caught the attack. The donkey's kick didn't hurt Wang Zhong at all. Instead, Linda lost her balance and fell to the ground because she didn't manage to push Wang Zhong back. He caught it. Some people couldn't believe it. Ran Xia covered her mouth. There weren't many people who learned the donkey kick in school. Although Linda learned it, she didn't expect Tang Yi to catch it so easily. This Tang Yi is so powerful. After Linda fell to the ground, Wang Zhong didn't continue to attack. He just looked at her calmly. I lost. Linda climbed up and patted the dirt off her body. She said seriously, I didn't expect Tang Yi to be so powerful. I underestimated you before. Thank you for letting me win. Wang Zhong nodded. Clap clap clap. The class teacher, Zhou Xiaolan, clapped and said, Students, everyone must learn from Tang Yi in the future. Do you understand? Understood. The students said in a long voice. Tang Yi, later you will be fighting against the senior students. We, the junior students, usually just casually exchange a few moves. It doesn't matter if you can't win. Anyway, there will be opportunities in the future. Do you understand? Zhou Xiaolan looked at Wang Zhong and said. Wang Zhong nodded. I understand. Students, let's go to the center. Zhou Xiaolan led the students in her class to the center. At this moment, there were a few students who had already won in their respective classes. These students were all waiting here. Tang Yi, I didn't expect you to defeat the class leader. Ran Xia walked over and said, It's okay. Actually, your potential is very big. It's just that you are usually a bit lazy. Wang Zhong said. You are the lazy one. A child will be a child. Wang Zhong just teased her a bit. Ran Xia thought that Wang Zhong was scolding her. But Ran Xia didn't get angry. She said, You are already so powerful now. In a few years, won't you be the school's number one? TSK TSK TSK. Ran Xia seemed to have seen Tang Yi's future. He will definitely be very powerful. When the people from the other classes saw that it was Wang Zhong who stood up, they were all very surprised. After all, Wang Zhong is now a famous person in the school. Ugly monster Tang Yi, although ugly, is very strong. But they didn't expect that he would be so strong to defeat their class leader, Linda. Soon, all the winners of the class stood together. Including Wang Zhong, there are a total of 48 winners. These people are the outstanding talents of each class. Not only are they strong in martial arts, but their studies are also not bad. They are considered to have developed in all aspects. Please advise me. Wang Zhong's first opponent was a girl from the same grade. She is their class's sports committee member. Although she is petite, she is very fast and has strong explosive power. Huh! The girl shouted and started to wave her fists. What she used was an ordinary and unremarkable series of continuous punches. But her normal punch was very fierce and fast. Facing such an attack, Wang Zhong quietly retreated. So. Countless fist shadows appeared in front of him. Wang Zhong took a deep breath and suddenly attacked with his normal punch. What was shocking was that Wang Zhong's continuous normal punch was actually the same speed as the girl. God, this ugly monster's speed is actually the same as our sports committee member. Too scary. Not only is Tang Yi's strength strong, his speed is also very fast. Zhou Xiaolan's eyes lit up. This student has brought her too many surprises. This girl obviously didn't expect Wang Zhong's speed to be so fast. This made the speed advantage that she was so proud of instantly disappear. Sure enough, the situation on the stage took a turn for the worse. When the two of them came into contact, the girl fell into a disadvantage and was quickly beaten back. Deng deng deng. The girl retreated a few steps and said in shock, Your speed is actually so fast. It's still okay. I just need to practice more. Wang Zhong said it casually. But to the students at the side, it was not something that could be done with practice. This was enough to see Wang Zhong's talent and strength. I lost. The girl nodded and generously retreated. Tang Yi, very good. Continue to work hard. But if you feel tired, you can take a break. Zhou Xiaolan encouraged. Wang Zhong nodded. At this time, the people on the stage were almost done with their matches. Next was Wang Zhong's turn. Chapter 236. His next opponent was obviously older. He was a sixth-year student and looked very tall and sturdy. His arrogant personality came from his talent and family background. Therefore, he did not place Wang Zhong in his eyes at all. Vicious Dog Pounce. The boy roared and used the move of Vicious Dog Pounce. Like a vicious dog pouncing, Wang Zhong bellowed and used the five-fist technique. The first fist fiercely collided with the boy. The second fist was dodged by the opponent. The third fist, the power increased. The boy's face suddenly changed. Why did he feel that this ugly guy's fist was getting stronger and stronger? Finally, the fourth fist. Wang Zhong took the opportunity and punched the opponent's chest. Bam! The boy groaned and continued to pounce towards Wang Zhong. He wanted to use his absolute strength to crush Wang Zhong. The experience of his previous life told Wang Zhong that he could not fight head-on. Therefore, he quickly retreated and kicked at his opponent's head from the air. Bam! Wang Zhong's speed was too fast. Although the boy's martial arts were overbearing, he was still kicked to the ground. So strong. The boy rubbed his forehead in disbelief. He was considered an expert, but compared to this ugly guy, he lost so quickly. If this happened in the future, it would be terrible. For a moment, his eyes narrowed. Sun Simiao, if you fall, you will fail. The teacher reminded him. Got it. Sun Simiao nodded and smiled at Wang Zhong. I heard you are called Tang Yi, very powerful. You are not weak either. Thank you for letting me win. Wang Zhong said. Sun Simiao did not say anything and turned to leave. The battle was still ongoing. Wang Zhong did not suffer any defeats. What surprised everyone was that he had actually obtained first place in the final exam. Sun Simiao was second. But he was not very happy about getting second place. After all, in his opinion, he was supposed to get first place, but he did not expect that someone would come out of nowhere. Was he angry or not? Wow, so this is a martial arts mental cultivation method. Tang Yi, you're really something. I didn't expect you to be so powerful. Holding on to Wang Zhong's reward, Ran Xia exclaimed in admiration. If you want this book, I'll give it to you, Wang Zhong said. His understanding of martial arts had already reached the level of a grandmaster, so he naturally had no interest in such books. Give it to me? Ran Xia was shocked and looked at Wang Zhong's ugly face. Why? You ugly. Humph, are you up to no good? She originally wanted to call Wang Zhong ugly, but after all, they had lived together as a family for so long, so she didn't say it out loud. After saying that, he thought to himself, she's trying to curry favor for no reason. Is this ugly monster trying to woo me? Pooh, you're so ugly. I'm from the Appearance Association. If you want to woo me, there's no way. After all, she was a little girl. She was thinking a lot at this moment. Wang Zhong's expression remained unchanged as he replied, What are you thinking? This book doesn't say that I'm the only one who can read it. You can learn from it. What's more, my strength is already pretty good. If you read more, it can help you improve your grades. Alright then, thank you very much. It's okay. We're family. After all, you're my sister, Wang Ju said. This time, Ran Xia didn't say anything like chasing him away. She smiled and put away the book. After returning home, Wang Zhong told his parents about the exam results. Good. Ran Zhong laughed and said, I didn't expect you to get first place in school this time. The top scholar. It could be imagined that Wang Zhong was so strong now. When he graduated, wouldn't he be the top scholar? The top scholar of martial arts would go to junior high and high school for free and would be the focus of every school. Wife, we'll have more dishes tonight to celebrate. The more Ran Zhong looked at Wang Zhong, the more satisfied he was. So what if he was ugly? In modern society, as long as one had status, money, and ability, they could lead a good life. Even if they were disabled, they could lead a good life and marry a beautiful wife. Little E, what do you want to eat? Mom will cook something good for you today. Chen Qin smiled and asked. I'm not picky. Wang Zhong smiled. Ran Xia was a little unhappy at the side. Initially, she was quite happy. However, when she saw that her parents liked Tang Yi so much and did not even ask her about it, she only felt sour in her heart. Wang Zhong noticed Ran Xia's discomfort and quickly said, All right, the teacher praised my sister for her improvement during the exam today. If I give her this mental cultivation technique now, she will definitely improve in the future. Not bad. Ran Zhong nodded. He was surprised by Wang Zhong's words. He did not notice his daughter's unhappiness, but he did. He even spoke up for her. This child must be nurtured well in the future. He would definitely be able to make a name for himself. The whole family had a joyous dinner. After eating, Wang Zhong went out to practice martial arts as usual. Ran Xia walked over and said, You're already first place. Why are you still working so hard? Everyone is improving. If you don't work hard, you'll fall behind. Isn't that right? Wang Zhong said. You little child, who taught you these words? You have a way of saying it. Ran Xia curled her lips. I learned it from a book. Anyway, thank you for giving me this. I'll go to bed first. Ran Xia went upstairs. The next day, Wang Zhong went to school and was called to the office by the class teacher, Zhou Xiaolin. The reward for first place was an intermediate-level martial arts technique. It was officially given to Wang Zhong. This martial arts technique is called Red School Qigong. It's an intermediate-level martial arts technique. It's very precious on the market. Keep it well. After you learn it, you have to return it to school after the winter break. Understand? Zhou Xiaolan reminded. The martial arts techniques in this world were divided into 3 levels: intermediate, intermediate, and low. An intermediate-level martial arts technique was very precious to many people. Naturally, it wouldn't be given away. Therefore, after learning it, it had to be returned to school. Of course, whether or not he could learn it during the winter break was another matter. Got it, Teacher Zhou. Wang Zhong said. Very good. In these few days, the principal will teach you martial arts. You have to listen patiently. The principal's strength is very strong. He's a master. Wang Zhong nodded. Although this world wasn't divided into levels like his previous life. But after reaching a certain level of strength, people would naturally call some strong people masters. The more powerful ones were grandmasters. But most people didn't dare to call themselves grandmasters. Therefore, many people would call some strong people masters. This point was similar to the modern world. They would call some celebrities teachers, hosts teachers, and teachers who sell health products. The nature was similar. However, the masters here were truly capable. Wang Zhong naturally knew this, so he was looking forward to it. This was his first time coming into contact with the strong people in this world. After lunch, Wang Zhong, Sun Simiao, and the other 10 students came to the field. Principal Dong Wuji had been waiting here for a long time. Hello, everyone. I'm your principal, Dong Wuji. Dong Wuji looked at everyone expressionlessly and said, You are the best students in this batch. I will give you some pointers. I hope you will seize the opportunity. Chapter 237. Dong Wuji's strength was indeed good. He first demonstrated his fist technique. He had obviously cultivated internal strength. Every time he punched, his internal qi gushed out and was very tyrannical. This training lasted for half a month. Then came the winter vacation. Wang Zhong and Ran Xia had been staying at home. Ran Zhong was very busy with work. Basically, he would go out to work at dawn. As for Chen Qin, she would occasionally stay at home and sometimes go out to work with Ran Zhong. In short, the days were very fulfilling. In the blink of an eye, Wang Zhong was already 12 years old. Over the years, he would get the first place in school every year and became a celebrity. Naturally, he was successfully admitted to the best junior high school in the city. As for Ran Xia, although her score was not enough, Ran Zhong still spent a sum of money to help her by this junior high school. After this winter vacation, Xia, you have to go there and study hard in the future. Ran Zhong said, You have to learn from your brother, do you understand? Got it. Ran Xia rolled her eyes and said impatiently. Now, although Ran Xia was young, she had learned how to dress up. Sometimes Wang Zhong could see her secretly applying lipstick on herself with Chen Qin's cosmetics, which surprised Wang Zhong. This winter vacation, Ran Zhong and his wife went out again. Wang Zhong was reading when he heard Ran Xia talking on the phone in the next room. Okay, let's go out for barbecue later. What, go to the bar at night? Children in this era were very precocious, especially beautiful girls like Ran Xia. We're so young. It's not good to go to the bar now, right? Ran Xia was still a little worried about going to the bar. However, it seemed that with the persuasion of the person on the phone, Ran Xia was finally moved. Well, we'll go there at night, but go home early. I'm afraid my parents will scold us. After hanging up the phone, Ran Xia walked to Wang Zhong's room. When she saw Wang Zhong reading, she rolled her eyes and said, Good brother. Her tone was very polite all of a sudden. Wang Zhong said expressionlessly, "Don't call me that." "What's the matter?" He, it's like this. I'll go out to play later." "Oh, you can tell Dad and Mom. But you have to come back early tonight," Wang Zhong reminded him. In this world, because everyone practiced martial arts, the crime rate had always been very high. In particular, there were simply too many gangsters fighting on the streets. He was also worried that Ran Xia would be at a disadvantage when she went out to play. That would be troublesome. Ran Xia said, "I was just about to discuss this with you. I'm going out to play later and might come back late. If Mom and Dad ask, you can tell them that I'm at my classmate's place for tutoring." "You're lying," Wang Zhong said seriously. As an adult with a mature mind, Wang Zhong naturally would not help Ran Xia lie. "If you really want to go out and play, then tell Dad and Mom honestly." "If I really say it, doesn't that mean I can't go out to play?" Ran Xia frowned. "Then rest at home or come back early. I'm doing this for your own good. It's rare for me to ask you for a favor. Aren't you going to give me face?" Ran Xia said angrily. "This is a matter of principle. I can't help you lie to your parents," Wang Zhong said. Mom and Dad. You're just an ugly monster that I picked up. Who are your parents?" "My parents are mine, not yours." Seeing that Wang Zhong was unwilling to help her lie, Ran Xia's princess temper suddenly exploded. "Who do you think you are? You're not even willing to help me. Let me ask you, are you going to help me or not?" "This is a matter of principle." Then I'll tell Dad and Mom that you bullied me." Wang Zhong did not expect Ran Xia to be so spoiled when she was fine before. He shook his head and said, "I'm doing this for your own good. It's not safe outside. You're a girl and you'll be easily bullied. It's none of your business. Who are you? You're just an ugly monster. If you don't want to help, then don't help." Ba. Ran Xia angrily turned her head and walked away. While going downstairs, she muttered, "Who do you think you are? Just you wait." Although Ran Xia did not go out to play that day, when Ran Zhong came back, Ran Xia rushed over and said, "Dad, Tangy bullied me." "What's wrong?" Ran Zhong frowned. He had always seen Wang Zhong's character. How could he bully Ran Xia? "He pushed me and caused me to fall and hurt." "What happened?" Chen Qin asked. "I asked him to sweep the floor. Not only was he unwilling, he even said that I was too bad. Drive him away." Ran Xia's words were shocking. Ran Zhong was old and shrewd. Naturally, he would not believe Ran Xia's one-sided words. He shouted, "Little E, I'm here." Wang Zhong went downstairs and glanced at Ran Xia. He heard everything that Ran Xia said just now. At this moment, he was also very helpless. He secretly thought that a child would be a child. The reason she found was really funny. "Dad and Mom." Wang Zhong went downstairs. Ran Zhong said, "You pushed Xia? What's going on?" "I didn't push her. We just quarreled," Wang Zhong said. "Why did you quarrel?" Chen Qin was curious. In the couple's impression, Wang Zhong was not an unreasonable person. There must be a reason behind it. "Because—" Wang Zhong was about to tell the truth, but after looking at the nervous Ran Xia, he felt that if he told the truth, Ran Xia would probably be beaten. Hence, he thought for a moment and said, "Just some trivial matters." Ran Zhong nodded and did not think much of it. He said, "It's fine as long as it's nothing serious. Xia, you are the elder sister. Don't quarrel with little E for no reason." "That's right. Little E is studying every day. Why are you quarreling with him?" "I think you must be the one being unreasonable," Chen Qin said. Ran Xia gritted her teeth and said, Yes. It's all my fault." "Humph, I'm going upstairs." Ran Xia actually burst into tears. Although she was relieved that Wang Zhong did not tell the truth, she was very uncomfortable that her parents were always siding with Tang Yi. Pa. The door closed. Ran Xia squatted at the door and cried alone. "Boo-hoo. Why do my parents only like this ugly guy? Isn't he just a little better in his studies, a little more sensible, a little more diligent in his studies, never messing around, not being picky about food, not swearing, and not liking to play games? Why, although I'm not as good as him, I'm still a good girl. At this moment, Ran Xia wished that she could chase Wang Zhong away immediately and never see him again. Sigh, this child's temper seems to be getting worse, Chen Qin said helplessly. Little E, don't worry. I'm not sensible. I'll be fine when I grow up. Ran Zhong still said the same thing. Wang Zhong could not say anything at this moment. He could only hope that he would grow up quickly. When he grew up, it would be much easier to do everything. What Wang Zhong did not expect was that from this day onwards, Ran Xia's attitude towards him became worse and worse. Chapter 238. The winter vacation passed quickly. Ever since Ran Xia had been scolded, she had never bothered with Wang Zhong. When they arrived at the new school, although Ran Zhong arranged for them to be in the same class through some connections, Ran Xia became more and more hostile to Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong was also quite helpless. He estimated that Ran Xia was now in adolescence. Adolescent girls have bad tempers. After Ran Xia entered junior high school, her grades became worse and worse. From time to time, she would hook up with some bad girls in the school and play crazily. After a semester of school, Ran Xia already knew some senior students. At noon, Wang Zhong returned to the classroom to study after lunch. There were not many students in the classroom. At this time, he saw a coquettishly dressed girl coming in. Wang Zhong had heard of this girl before. She was a delinquent girl in junior high. Her name was Yang Ya. Her grades were naturally terrible, but she was very good at playing. He heard that she had several big brothers and godfathers outside. Sister. Yang Ya chewed gum in her mouth and walked in. She said to Ran Xia, "What are you doing?" "Playing with my phone." Ran Xia said, "Let's go to the bar tonight." Yang Ya said, "Today is my birthday." "I see." Ran Xia hesitated. Wang Zhong, who was watching from the back, was secretly shocked. He really didn't know when Ran Xia had actually become acquainted with Yang Ya. This girl wasn't anything good. My parents may not let me go to the bar. Ran Xia hesitated. What are you afraid of? Call me later. I will tell your parents that you can go to my house for tutoring. Isn't that settled? Yang Ya said carelessly. This? Ran Xia was still hesitating. She wanted to go to the bar, but she was worried that it would be messy. Especially if her parents knew that she went to such a place, they would definitely break her legs. Don't say this and that. There are a lot of friends today. You won't not give me face, right? Then I will go home early. Ran Xia thought about it and said, "Okay, then I will see you after school. I will help you talk to your parents. This is not the first time I did it. I promise your parents will not think anything." "Okay." Ran Xia nodded. Yang Ya quickly left. Ran Xia held her phone in anticipation and excitement. Many young people were very curious about bars when they hadn't been there before. Ran Xia was like that now. "Xia, why are you hanging out with someone like Yang Ya?" Wang Zhong walked over to Ran Xia and asked. "What do you mean by that kind of person?" "She's the elder sister that I know." Seeing Wang Zhong, this ugly person, coming over, Ran Xia curled her lips and snorted, "I don't need you to care about my business, stop being so long-winded." "She asked you to go to the bar?" Wang Zhong asked. Ran Xia's expression changed. "You ugly freak actually dared to eavesdrop on me." "Good, I didn't expect you to be not only ugly, but also so cheap. Speak clearly, I didn't eavesdrop." "Ha ha ha, I'm warning you. Don't talk too much to my parents. Otherwise, I won't forgive you." After saying that, Ran Xia ignored Wang Zhong. At this time, more and more students came. In order to save Ran Xia's face, Wang Zhong could only return to his seat. Finally, when school was over, Ran Xia was the first to run out of the school. When she arrived at the school gate, she had already met up with Yang Ye's group. There were 3 girls with Yang Ye. In addition, there were a few boys. In addition to the students in the school, there were also 2 gangsters from outside the school. These 2 gangsters had cigarettes in their mouths as they chatted with Yang Ye. From time to time, they would glance at Ran Xia. To be honest, compared to Yang Ye and the other girls, Ran Xia was much prettier in terms of temperament and appearance. Naturally, there were more boys looking at her. "Hey, Xia, look, that ugly freak in your class has been staring at you." At this time, Yang Ye noticed Wang Zhong. After all, Wang Zhong was not far away. He did not leave the school gate and did not look anywhere else. It was obvious that he was looking at them. "Don't look at him." Ran Xia snorted. "Yo, from your tone, he annoyed you?" "Yes." Ran Xia nodded. "He's a very annoying guy. Don't tell me this guy is overestimating himself and wants to pursue you," Yang Ye said. Ran Xia curled her lips and did not say anything. The boy on the side probably wanted to curry favor. He patted his chest and said, "Xia, if this guy annoys you, we will help you deal with him." Ran Xia quickly said, "That's not necessary." "Why? Don't you hate him?" Yang Ye was curious. Although Ran Xia hated Wang Zhong and even loathed him, he was still a family member. Ran Xia did not really want Wang Zhong to get hurt. So she quickly found an excuse. "Of course I hate him. It's just that this classmate of mine is very powerful. He has always been the first in martial arts in primary school. First place is nothing. We have more people. Why should we be afraid of him?" A gangster couldn't help but say. Although martial arts were very important in this world, people who practiced martial arts were not so tyrannical that they could do whatever they wanted. When faced with a lot of people or absolute power, they would still have to kneel. "Yes, we have more people. It's easy to deal with him," another gangster said. "It's okay. Forget it." Ran Xia still shook her head. "All right then. We'll talk about this later. Young Master Sun's car is here." Yang Ye pointed at a red sedan that was driving over not too far away. Soon, a man came down from the car. Wang Zhong took a look. "Isn't that Sun Simiao? They used to go to primary school." Since he entered the school, Wang Zhong was always the first in the final exam every year. As for Sun Simiao, he was always second. After Sun Simiao entered junior high school, he had never seen Sun Simiao. He just didn't expect to meet him here. Sun Simiao's family was obviously well off. He was already driving a luxury car at a young age. When he got out of the car, a group of students surrounded Sun Simiao. Obviously, Sun Simiao was the leader of this group. "Let's go. Let's eat something first. We'll go to the bar later. I've already booked the seats." Sun Simiao smiled. Young Master Sun is awesome. When the group of people was complimenting him, Wang Zhong walked over. "Ran Xia. Hey, this ugly guy is calling you." Yang Ye was surprised. She smiled and said, "There are a lot of people who overestimate themselves these days. He's so ugly and still wants to chase a girl." Wang Zhong ignored her. He looked at Ran Xia and said, "School is over. It's time to go home." Ran Xia's face turned green and white. She was worried that others would know that Wang Zhong was her brother. That would be embarrassing. She was afraid that everyone would know that she, Ran Xia, had an ugly brother. Because of this mentality, she glared at him and said, "Who are you? It's none of your business whether I go home or not." Wang Zhong frowned. Just as he was about to continue speaking, a gangster walked over and said, "Kid, aren't you being a busybody? Don't be so shameless." Another kid snorted. "Let's go." Ran Xia didn't want to bother with Wang Zhong. Chapter 239. The group of people quickly got into the car and left. Wang Zhong sighed. He felt that it was a bit difficult to deal with. Just as he was thinking about whether to tell Ran Zhong and his wife, a message came in. Wang Zhong looked at it. It was a message from Ran Xia. Ran Xia, ugly, I just told my parents that I'm going to make up lessons at night. If you dare to talk nonsense, I'll tear you apart. Wang Zhong frowned. Ran Xia's attitude towards him was really bad, but she was still a child. He couldn't argue with a child. The key was that the group of gangsters were not good people. He didn't want Ran Xia to learn bad things like Yang Ye. After thinking about it, he also sent a message to Chen Qin. He said that he would make up lessons later and wouldn't go home at night. Chen Qin and Ran Zhong trusted Wang Zhong, so they didn't ask much. They just told Wang Zhong to go home early after making up lessons and call if anything happened. Then, he called a taxi and asked the driver to follow the car in front. Although the car in front had gone quite far, there were a lot of people in the city. There were traffic lights everywhere, so their car was still waiting for the traffic lights. Soon, the car following them arrived in the city. After the group of people got out of the car, they went to a fast food restaurant happily. Ran Xia was obviously not very familiar with them, but after Yang Ye's introduction, Ran Xia started to chat with them. Seeing this, Wang Zhong sighed. If Ran Xia stayed with them for a long time, she would definitely learn bad things. So, Wang Zhong waited opposite, bought a hamburger and Coke, and ate alone. The group of people ate for a long time. When they came out, it was already past 8. Then, they got into the car and drove away. Driver, follow the cars in front. Wang Zhong pointed in front and said. The driver nodded and followed. Soon, after passing 2 traffic lights, the group of people stopped in front of a bar. Because it was still early, there weren't many people in the bar, but the group of people still went in. What made Wang Zhong feel strange was that the 2 gangsters didn't go in. Instead, they bought 2 bottles of water from the convenience store outside. Then, they opened the water and secretly put something in it. Put in the medicine. Wang Zhong frowned. Because they were next to a van, Wang Zhong immediately went around them and listened to their conversation from the other side of the van. F***ck, that bitch called Ran Xia is too arrogant. I let her drink but she didn't drink. Alright. Luckily I have this thing. If I don't put her down later, I'll take her surname. Brother Kuan, where did you get this? What's the effect? The gangster beside him asked. Hey, young master son gave it to me. He's very capable. I wonder where he got it from, Brother Kuan said. The 2 of them laughed a few times and walked inside. As expected, something was wrong. Wang Zhong frowned. He had often seen this scene in the past, so it was not strange. However, the victim was now Ran Xia. If something really happened, Ran Xia's life would be ruined. No, we can't let this go on. Wang Zhong lowered his head and looked around. Then, he walked into the bar. At this time, there were not many people inside, but gentle music was already playing. There were a few tables inside that were already occupied. Thanks to the light inside, Wang Zhong stood alone behind a pillar. Sir, may I ask? At this time, a waitress came over. She wanted to ask for Wang Zhong's seat, but after seeing Wang Zhong's face, she was shocked. It couldn't be helped. Wang Zhong's current face, coupled with such a dim environment, directly scared her. What did you say? Wang Zhong asked. The gentle words made the waitress relieved. After silently complaining about how ugly he was, the waitress showed her signature smile. It's like this. Do you have a seat? Wang Zhong naturally wouldn't look for a seat. He smiled and said, I just want to drink a few glasses. I don't need a seat. As he spoke, he took out 100 yuan and handed it over. There were a lot of casual customers like this, so the waitress didn't find it strange. She nodded and went to get the drinks. Wang Zhong silently looked at Ran Xia, who was sitting not far away. She was sitting beside Yang Ye and a few other girls. Compared to the other girls who were drinking, Ran Xia didn't drink. No wonder the 2 people just bought drinks for Ran Xia. These people began to toast, and Wang Zhong's heart was in suspense. Because he saw that the guy called Brother Kuan picked up the bottle of drink with the drug and handed it to Ran Xia. Move, 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 move. The music in the bar was very loud, so Wang Zhong couldn't hear what they were saying. However, he saw Ran Xia take the drink without hesitation. At this time, Wang Zhong of course couldn't wait any longer. He directly walked over. Xia, today is the first time we met. If you have any trouble in the future, just say my name, Brother Kuan, and I'll settle it for you. Brother Kuan patted his chest as if he was a big brother. Sun Simiao, who was at the side, had a faint smile on his face as he watched Ran Xia preparing to drink the drink. Come, Xia. Brother knows you don't drink, so I won't force you. You can drink a drink, right? Here, Brother Kuan gives you a toast. Brother Kuan handed over the cup. At this time, Ran Xia was embarrassed to refuse. She nodded and somewhat awkwardly prepared to toast. Xia, drink it. If you have any problems in the future, tell Brother Kuan. The gangster at the side jeered, for example, that ugly bastard today. If you don't like him, we brothers will help you beat him up. Although Ran Xia was angry with Wang Zhong, they were still family. Thus, she glanced at him and said, Do you only know how to bully children? After being rebuked, the gangster was a little unhappy. He scolded in his heart, What are you so arrogant for? After drinking this, I'll let you see how powerful I am. Just as Ran Xia was about to drink the drink, Wang Zhong suddenly came out and snatched the drink from Ran Xia's hand. Tang Yi! Ran Xia was stunned. You ugly bastard, what are you trying to do? Brother Kuan stared and pushed Wang Zhong. You followed us here. What are you trying to do? Yangya was immediately unhappy. She suddenly stood up and threatened, Are you trying to cause trouble? I think you won't cry until you see the coffin, right? Wang Zhong held the drink in his hand and sneered, Don't you know what you've done? The two gangsters had ulterior motives. Their eyes were somewhat evasive. But Yangya obviously didn't know. She said coldly, What do you mean by not knowing? You followed us. Is it our fault? Tang Yi, what are you trying to do? Ran Xia questioned. A group of people looked at Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong shook the drink in his hand and said, You can't drink this. Are you stupid? This is a drink. I didn't drink it. Why can't I drink it? Ran Xia scolded. Get out. Brother Kuan said coldly. Wang Zhong placed the drink in front of Brother Kuan. You said you can drink it. Then drink it. Chapter 240. This time, Brother Kuan and the other delinquent couldn't stay calm. They knew that there was a drug in the drink. After drinking it, it could make people faint, become muddle-headed, and even cause them to lose consciousness. Therefore, they definitely wouldn't drink it. Why should we drink just because you said so? The delinquent scolded. At this time, Ran Xia also realized that something was wrong. Wang Zhong didn't ask her to leave, but took the drink away. After giving the drink to Brother Kuan's expression clearly wasn't right. Could it be that there was a story behind this? Wang Zhong said, I saw that you guys added something in the drink. If you can prove that you didn't add anything, then you can drink it. If there's nothing else, I'll leave immediately. Brother Kuan's expression changed and he snorted, Drink your mom. What if I don't drink it? Hey, are you looking for trouble? Yangya said. Although she also felt that something was wrong, she still instinctively scolded Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong turned his head and looked at the seductively dressed girl. He passed the drink to her and said, Since you said there's nothing else, then you can drink it. You? Yangya wanted to scold him, but she didn't know what to say. She wasn't stupid. Seeing how confident Wang Zhong was, and then looking at Brother Kuan, she knew that something might have been added. What's going on? Yangya looked at Brother Kuan. Nothing. Give me back the drink. Brother Kuan snorted. Wang Zhong smiled. You haven't drunk it yet. Kid, don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. All right. At this time, Ran Xia stared at Brother Kuan and said fiercely, If you added something, then so be it. Stop pretending. Being scolded, Brother Kuan frowned and said, What are you saying? Little girl, don't be so shameless. You added something and you're scolding me? F***ck your mom. Wang Zhong was shocked. Ran Xia was too fierce. She actually scolded him directly. You're asking for it. Brother Kuan slapped Ran Xia with his hand. Wang Zhong immediately reached out and grabbed Brother Kuan's wrist. Friend, you're really arrogant to hit a woman. Beat her up. In the blink of an eye, Brother Kuan and his men rushed over. As for the others and Sun Simiao, they were all waiting to see a good show. Although Ran Xia hated Wang Zhong, she could still distinguish between right and wrong. She was worried that Wang Zhong would suffer losses, so she hurriedly called the police. Wang Zhong calmly retreated in the face of their attacks. Suddenly, he grabbed a beer bottle and threw it at them. Bang! Brother Kuan's head was instantly smashed until it bled. Courting death. Two people rushed over. Other than being shorter, Wang Zhong's strength was not inferior to some adults. Therefore, he quickly threw out a series of ordinary punches. The two hoodlums were no match for him and were instantly beaten black and blue. Hey, don't fight. The security guards in the bar walked over and pulled Wang Zhong and Brother Kuan apart. At the same time, a police siren sounded outside and 3 police officers walked in. What's going on? The leading policeman frowned. Bar fights were common, but this was the first time he had seen a group fight where one side was not at a disadvantage. These people drugged my drink. Ran Xia brought the drink over. Who drugged you? Who saw it with their own eyes? We only took the drink. Who knows who put it there? Brother Kuan immediately quibbled. Yes. Another hoodlum quickly nodded. There are so many people here who took the drink. Who said we put it there? Take out your ID cards. The policeman snorted. Wang Zhong said, we only have our student ID cards. He took it over. The policeman looked at it and frowned. You're only a junior high student. You came here to play at such a young age. Don't your parents care about you? Give me your parents' phone numbers and ask them to come and pick you up. No. This time, it was Ran Xia's turn to be anxious. She sneaked out to play. If her parents knew that she came here to play, they would beat her to death. If you don't give me your phone number, then I can only put you in jail. The policeman deliberately threatened. Whoa. Ran Xia was so anxious that she cried. Wang Zhong sighed. Nowadays, this kind of thing could not be hidden from his parents. So, he pulled the leading policeman aside and told him Chen Qin's phone number. In the end, he said, I'm her brother. We're family. Okay, I know. The police officer walked aside and called Chen Qin. The group of people was quickly brought to the door by the 3 policemen. After waiting for about 20 minutes, Ran Zhong drove in. After a round of education, the policeman let Chen Qin and Wang Zhong leave. However, he also said that because this matter involved drugs, there might be things that would require Wang Zhong and Ran Xia's cooperation in the future. As for Brother Kuan and his underlings, they were taken away on the spot. These 2 were regulars in the station, so they were not worried at all. Instead, they glared at Wang Zhong, implying that he would be in trouble in the future. Let's go home. Ran Zhong glared at Wang Zhong and Chen Qin and walked forward. After getting into the car and returning home, Ran Zhong pointed at the hall and shouted, Stand there. Wang Zhong was helpless. He could only stand there with Ran Xia. Look at all of you now. You dare to lie to me, right? What tutoring and studying? I think it's all bullshit. You're so young and you don't learn well. Is it fun to go to a bar? Is it fun to fight? Ran Zhong scolded angrily. Xiao Yi, what's going on? You don't usually lie. You come home early after school. Why did you lie to us this time? Chen Qin asked, puzzled. Wang Zhong sighed and said, I saw Xia going out to play. I was worried that something might happen to her, so I followed her. Ran Zhong was stunned. So, you were there to protect her? Yeah, I saw that 2 of them were gangsters. I was worried that something might happen to her. After thinking for a while, Wang Zhong said, Actually, Xia didn't want to go either. However, you should know that relationships between classmates can be very complicated sometimes. It's her classmate's birthday and it's not good for her to reject. Ran Xia was a little touched. She didn't expect Wang Zhong to speak up for her at this time. After listening to Wang Zhong's words, Chan Qin and Ran Zhong's expressions eased a little. So that's how it is. Chen Qin nodded slightly and said gently, Xiao Yi is still the most obedient. Xia, look at you. If Xiao Yi didn't suddenly appear today and block that drink for you, who knows where you would be now? In fact, Ran Xia was very regretful and scared at this time. Recalling that scene, if she had really drunk that drink, wouldn't she? Thinking of this, Ran Xia's tears fell down. Humph, I think you're getting more and more disobedient. Don't even think about pocket money in the future, Ran Zhong scolded. Your phone will be confiscated too, Chen Qin said. Xiao Yi, it's all thanks to you this time. What do you want to eat later? Mom will cook for you, Chen Qin said. The more Ran Xia listened, the more uncomfortable she felt. She shouted, You only care about this ugly monster. Have you ever cared about me? Since you don't want me, I'll leave. Chapter 241. After Ran Xia shouted, she turned around and ran outside. She was really sad. This time, she did do something wrong, but she was also a victim. Why did her parents protect Tang Yi? Why? This ugly monster was just picked up by her parents. Why did he always get praise while she was scolded everywhere? Because he was smart? Because he was diligent? Because he was sensible? Because she was outstanding? Indeed, he was a little too much, but she was still not convinced. Although she was not sensible, not diligent, not smart, not outstanding, she still went to the bar to play with the gangsters, learn to smoke, learn to drink. But she was still a good girl. Rumble. Suddenly, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled outside, and a strong wind blew. But Ran Xia did not care. She rushed into the night and disappeared in the blink of an eye. This child is getting more and more outrageous. Ran Zhong was so angry that he wanted to throw the cup. Hey, I'll go after her, Chen Qin said. What's there to chase? She's just a child throwing a tantrum. She'll cry for a while and come back on her own, Ran Zhong said. I'll go after her. It's going to rain soon. It won't be good if she gets sick. Wang Zhong ran out. Rumble. The thunder outside was getting louder and louder. Soon, it started to rain. Da-da-da-da. The raindrops hit the ground, making a crisp sound. This child, I don't know where she went. Wang Zhong looked at the rainy night and walked around. Whoa. At this moment, Ran Xia was hiding alone in the forest of the community, crying. She looked behind and saw that no one was looking for her. She cried and said, Mom and Dad don't want me anymore. They only want that ugly monster, whoa. She stumbled along and couldn't help but come to the main road. Why don't I just die? Ran Xia cried like a pear blossom in the rain. She was very sad. Xia. At this time, Wang Zhong also ran out and saw Ran Xia walking on the side of the road not far away. Xia, slow down. Wang Zhong walked over. However, Ran Xia ran even faster and soon ran to a corner. Wang Zhong was running in that direction. At this time, a black car drove quickly behind him. Wang Zhong felt that something was wrong. When the car saw him, it did not slow down. Instead, it sped up. Beep beep beep. Not good. Wang Zhong's expression changed. He didn't guess wrong. The car was really coming at him. He quickly dodged, and the car brushed past his body and crashed to the side. How do you drive? Wang Zhong scolded. No one responded. Instead, the door at the back of the car suddenly opened and two strong men got out. They came with ill intentions. Although he didn't know who these two people were, he didn't need to guess to know that they weren't anything good. Immediately, Wang Zhong turned around and ran. With his current strength, he could deal with people around his age, but in the face of these burly men who were obviously trained, he was still somewhat lacking. Therefore, the most important thing now was to leave. "Where do you think you're going?" A cold voice sounded. Two strong men, one on the left and one on the right, quickly blocked Wang Zhong's path. "Who are you? What do you want?" Wang Zhong asked warily. "Be a good boy and walk over." The muscular man on the right walked over quickly. Five-fist technique. Wang Zhong didn't say a word and threw out a heavy punch without hesitation. Unfortunately, his fist was easily caught. "You're as strong as the information says." The muscular man smiled coldly and threw a backhand punch. Bang! Wang Zhong was shocked. He didn't even have a chance to resist and was beaten down just like that. Crack! The muscular man's big foot firmly stepped on Wang Zhong's chest and said coldly, "Be sensible. Otherwise, we don't mind breaking your legs." "Who exactly are you guys?" Wang Zhong asked with a frown. He temporarily gave up resisting. First of all, although the other party was hostile, they didn't kill him. This meant that their purpose wasn't to kill him. As the saying goes, where there's life, there's hope. He could only admit defeat for now. "I'm just a kid. Don't hurt me," Wang Zhong quickly said. The two men looked at each other and smiled. "Don't worry. As long as you're obedient, we won't hurt you. Let's go." The muscular man picked up Wang Zhong like a chicken. "You want to kidnap me? How much money do you want?" "My parents will give you," Wang Zhong quickly said. But the two men stopped talking. After tying Wang Zhong's hands with a bandage, they threw him into the car. "Let's go." The two men drove away. Wang Zhong could only helplessly look out of the car. After the car turned the corner, he soon saw Ran Xia crying on the edge of the wall. He knocked on the window, trying to attract Ran Xia's attention. But Ran Xia kept crying and didn't notice him at all. The two of them didn't know that this parting would affect their lives. "This little guy is really annoying. Knock him out," the driver ordered. "Okay." The man in the back suddenly took out a syringe and injected it into Wang Zhong's arm. In an instant, Wang Zhong felt the world spinning around him. He felt so dizzy that he wanted to sleep. "It's done," the muscular man who injected the syringe said. "Well, I didn't expect our luck to be so good. We found this person for the organization. It's just that he's a little ugly. Such a big birthmark. In our line of work, appearance doesn't matter." "That's true." After hearing these words, Wang Zhong fell into a daze and fell asleep. When he fell asleep, his mind was full of questions. Why did they capture him? Who are these people? What organization are they from? When he woke up, he found himself locked in a wooden box. Whoosh! The inside of the wooden box was dark. He couldn't see anything outside, but listening to the sound of the waves outside, he guessed that he should be on Dahai. These two people probably didn't kidnap me for blackmail. Then why did they capture me? What's their purpose? Wang Zhong was very confused at the moment. At the moment, he was very hungry. He estimated that he should be hungry after being missing for 24 hours. After about a few hours, Wang Zhong felt that the boat outside finally stopped. Then, the wooden box that he was in was lifted up. "The goods are inside." It was the voice of the driver. "Very good, but I want to check the goods first." A cold voice was heard. Then, the wooden box was pried open. Dazzling sunlight instantly shone in. In addition, there was the fishy smell of seafood. Wang Zhong squinted his eyes. His face was very calm. He just looked at these people and tried to calm himself down. He must learn to be obedient now and figure out the situation before making the next step. "How is it?" "It's the same as the photo," the driver said. "Yes, it's this ugly guy." A man in a black suit with a cigar in his mouth nodded. "Let him come down." "Who are you?" Wang Zhong stood up and asked. Chapter 242. After getting used to the dazzling sunlight, Wang Zhong finally noticed these people. He was indeed at the beach, on a small fishing boat. Or rather, it looked like a fishing boat, but it was actually a smuggling boat. In front of him, in addition to the 2 men in black who kidnapped him, there was also the cigar-smoking man and 3 boatmen. However, these people's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Obviously, they were not good people. "You will know who we are later. Come down and go ashore." The cigar-smoking man's voice was unquestionable. Wang Zhong did not resist. He got off the boat and was brought to the shore. The cigar-smoking man also went ashore. The 2 men who kidnapped him left by boat. Wang Zhong stepped on the soft sand and looked around. He could see that this place should be a small island. It was very remote and desolate. Because on the beach, he could not see any docks for boats. This should be a deserted island. Wang Zhong could see it. "Let's go." The cigar-smoking man grabbed Wang Zhong's neck and said lightly, "Kid, according to the information, you were first in martial arts when you were in primary school, right?" "Yes," Wang Zhong said. "Very good. We will focus on training you." Wang Zhong frowned. "I want to see my parents." "Ha ha ha. Sure. If you want to go back, I will kill your parents. You are breaking the law. You will be punished by the law." Wang Zhong could not help but say, "I'm afraid you don't know us. Not to mention your father is just a small businessman. Even if he is more powerful, we can deal with him. Now, do you understand? Then what do you want me to do?" Wang Zhong asked. "Kill." The cigar-smoking man stared at him coldly. "You will be trained here. Those who do not meet the requirements will be executed. Once the training is completed, you will be a newcomer in our organization. At that time, the higher-ups will give you a task. Kid, do well. Some people want to enter the organization but can't. If you did not have the strength, do you think the organization will look at you?" Although this person did not say much, Wang Zhong could roughly guess what their organization was. Assassin Organization, an organization that specializes in all kinds of assassination and assassination business. Ever since he was in primary school, he had always been the top student in school. After that, he was guaranteed admission to the best junior high school in the area. He was probably targeted by the assassin organization at that time. After walking in the bumpy mountain Laolin for a while, Wang Zhong finally found traces of human activity. What he saw was a row of low concrete houses. On the spacious field, a few topless young children were exercising. A brawny man in camouflage roared at them, "Be serious. Here, the weak will be eliminated." As he spoke, he pointed at a girl's corpse not far away and roared, "She is the one who ended up like this. Just because she couldn't run 5 laps. Can you guys do it?" "All right." The group of children roared furiously. "I don't think you guys can do it." The man in camouflage sneered and looked at Wang Zhong. "Fancy, there's a new guy. Why is he so ugly?" The man in camouflage asked. With a cigar in his mouth, he smiled and said, "Don't be fooled by his ugly appearance. He is the top student in the school martial arts competition every year. There is no problem with his talent." "Oh, is that so? But this is no big deal. There were a few top students in primary school before, but didn't they die after only 3 months? Try it." "Okay." The man in camouflage nodded and walked to Wang Zhong. "Stand at attention." If he did not obey, he would definitely be at a disadvantage. Therefore, Wang Zhong quickly stood at attention. "Hello, sir." Quite sensible, but the more sensible you are, the more scheming you are in my opinion. The man in camouflage sneered. "Okay, join the team." Yes. Wang Zhong joined the team. There were more than 30 children here, all about 10 years old. "Listen, the people here call me Master Hu. I am your mother's instructor, responsible for training you. Here, I will rank you every month. She will be the last one." Master Hu pointed at the girl's body not far away. At this moment, the body was moved down by 2 of his men. At this moment, Wang Zhong's face turned cold. The last one was going to be killed. What kind of place was this? Tang Yi. Master Hu shouted at Wang Zhong. Yes. You are now on the 34th. If you are still on the 34th at the end of the month, you are not qualified to stay here. Do you understand? I understand. Wang Zhong nodded. Very good. All of you listen to me. Although the last one will be killed, as long as you are in the first place, you can enjoy special privileges here. Master Hu said a lot. In general, in this place, strength was respected. The first one, in addition to not being able to move freely, did not even need to participate in special training. He could also be the first to eat the best food. And every month, the last one would be killed. There were both men and women in this group, but the majority were men. This group of children was expressionless when Wang Zhong came. Obviously, the people here were very mature, because the immature children were already dead. After Master Hu finished speaking, he began to let people train. First they ran. A group of people ran around the playground. While running, Wang Zhong took note of his surroundings. This place occupied a large area and was surrounded by barbed wire fences that encircled the area. In addition to the buildings around the playground, there were several buildings not far away. He did not know what they were for. Overall, this place was a concentration camp. After observing for a while, the children around him began to talk. A skinny guy looked over and said, "How did you get caught?" "I was suddenly attacked on a rainy day. What about you?" Wang Zhong asked, "How long have you been here?" "A year. I am 12 years old. I don't have parents. Once, I fainted after picking up someone's food. When I woke up, I was here. It's really tragic," Wang Zhong said. "My name is Tanaka. What about you?" "Tang Yi." "Well, practice well and try to survive the end of the month." Tanaka smiled and did not say anything. The other children had their own groups and were whispering at the moment. In front, a fat boy turned his head and said to the child beside him, "That girl Chen Xiaoyan is dead. Now, the weakest one is you." This child was relatively short, but his body was very strong. He said with a cold face, "Isn't there a newcomer? When the time comes, he will be the one at the bottom." "Haha, then I will wait and see." Listening to these people, Wang Zhong understood that in order to survive, these people would do anything. This day, finally, it was night time. As soon as they reached the cafeteria, the fattest fatty walked behind and shouted, "Get out of my way!" Chapter 243. The fat man's voice was so loud that it hurt people's ears. "What's this fat man's name? Why is he so arrogant?" Wang Zhong said coldly. Tanaka on the side said, "His name is Pan Dahu. He's a veteran player here. He's already 14 years old. After 16, he will be sent to the assassin camp. Because he's first, he's qualified to eat first." Assassin camp? That's right. On this island, only the assassin camp can be considered as real training. There are guns and bombs. If you want to become a qualified assassin, these are all things that you must master. "It seems that you're looking forward to becoming an assassin," Wang Zhong said. "Tang Yi, it's not that I'm looking forward to it, but it's to survive." Tanaka sighed. "You just came here and don't know. There's no way out here. If you want to live well, you can only become a qualified assassin. Although you won't be free, at least you'll have the ability to protect yourself." Tanaka's words made Wang Zhong feel unusually dignified. He thought that he would grow up well in Ren Zhong's house and make his own career when he grew up. But now it seems that it's not that simple. The first thing he has to do is to survive. He can't be the last. As soon as Pan Dahu entered the cafeteria, he grabbed a chicken drumstick and started eating. There are a total of 34 rice bowls on the table, all filled with chicken drumsticks and some other food. Although the training here is tough, at least there's no skimping on food. What's surprising is that Pan Dahu doesn't only eat his own food. Instead, he grabs chicken drumsticks from several bowls and takes a few bites. Then he throws them away and continues to eat from other bowls. He's simply letting others eat his saliva. But no one present dared to say anything. That's how it is for the first place. He has the privilege of being the first to eat. Of course, he can also eat from other bowls, Tanaka said. Pan Dahu stuffed himself with food, leaving only 5 bowls. Then he turned back provocatively and shouted, "Come and eat." 5 people walked out. It's obvious that these 5 people have a good relationship with Pan Dahu. These people are Pan Dahu's confidants. They're also the most senior group of students, so Pan Dahu has a good relationship with them, Tanaka explained. No wonder he let them eat first, Wang Zhong said. That's right. It's a pity that we eat their saliva every day, Tanaka said helplessly. While the 2 of them were talking, the others gradually went over to prepare for dinner. Some people didn't care about Pan Dahu's leftover drumstick and started to gnaw on it. After all, Pan Dahu had only taken 2 bites of the best meat on the drumsticks, but there was still a lot of meat left. With the intention of not wasting it, these people ate very seriously. Wang Zhong put the chicken drumstick aside. He didn't expect Tanaka to come over and say, "If you don't want to eat, why don't you give it to me?" Wang Zhong nodded. Tanaka smiled and immediately started eating. "You've already eaten so much. Can you still eat?" Wang Zhong asked. As Tanaka ate, he said, "You have to eat even if you can't. Here, only by eating more will you have the strength to work and fight. Therefore you have to eat more." After eating, Wang Zhong followed Tanaka and the others to a row of low houses at the back. "This is our dormitory. You can stay in the bed of the girl who died today," Tanaka said. The dormitory wasn't very clean. The airtight room exuded a musty smell. However, as soon as the children entered, several of them lay down on the bed and fell asleep. Tanaka was the same. After a day of training, they were already exhausted. The conditions of this place were very poor. There wasn't even a place to take a bath. However, Wang Zhong soon discovered that Pan Dahu and his friends were living in a house on the side. The place looked very clean at a glance. There was even a place to take a shower outside. This place is indeed a place where the strong prey on the weak. If I want to change my life, I have to become stronger. Wang Zhong thought to himself as he found his own bed. There was only a thin blanket on the bed. Under the bed, there was a diary. A person's name was written in the diary, Chan Xiaoyan. It was a very ordinary name. It couldn't be more ordinary. Wang Zhong understood that this girl was dead. It was the body he saw when he came here today. Opening the diary, the first page was about the situation when she first came here. The first sentence was that she missed her parents. Because of her willfulness, she ran away from home and was abducted and sold here. After that, she talked about her tragic experience here. Chen Xiaoyan's strength was not weak, but after coming here, she found that she was too tired. She couldn't eat enough, she couldn't wear warm clothes, and she was bullied. Especially when she slept at night, she only had a thin blanket, and it was very wet. After working hard here for 3 months, she finally couldn't hold on anymore. She fell ill. Then on today's running in the field, she couldn't run anymore and finally fell out of the team. Master Hu was the instructor, had beaten her to death. It was tragic, but this was the reality. Here, weakness is the original sin. No one will sympathize with you. When you fall, they will only look at you calmly and never pay attention to you again. Wang Zhong could even believe that even Tanaka, who had a good chat with him today, would not look at him if something happened to him. Here, he could only rely on himself. Shaking the blanket, Wang Zhong frowned. He couldn't sleep at all. Moreover, his body was sticky. If he slept without taking a bath, it was easy to get sick. Being sick would affect his training, so he had to find a way. He walked out and went straight to Pan Dahu. There was a water pipe at the door, but unfortunately, there was no shower. Now that no one was using it, he could take a shower. Walala, the water was released, and Wang Zhong happily washed his face. Fortunately, this place should belong to the subtropics, so the weather was cool. The cold water poured on his body didn't feel cold. Hey, Who let you shower here? At this time, a short man ran over. Wang Zhong recognized this person. He was one of Pan Dahu's followers, but he wasn't very strong. Anyway, you guys are useless. I came to take a shower, Wang Zhong said calmly. What's the matter? Pan Dahu walked out with a woman in his arms and frowned. It's you, newcomer. What are you doing here, ugly? So ugly, the woman in Pan Dahu's arms muttered. Wang Zhong wiped his body and took a shower, and said calmly, I'm not feeling well. I'm taking a shower. Ha ha ha. Pan Dahu laughed. Do you think this place is the school you came to? You want to take a shower and you want to take a shower? Are you looking down on me, Pan Dahu? His voice was so loud that some guards in the distance couldn't help but look over. Chapter 244. Although these guards saw the situation here, they were all watching with interest. They didn't plan to come over. Fighting was a common occurrence for the students here. In order to make the students cold-blooded and crazy, the instructors here would even encourage them to fight. For a moment, the four underlings behind Pan Dahu also surrounded Wang Zhong. Ganging up, Wang Zhong looked around and said, Pan Dahu, you're the boss here after all. Ganging up, do you think you have any face? Ha ha ha, don't try to goad me. If you can ganging up but choose to fight alone, then you're a fool, Pan Dahu shouted. Wang Zhong was helpless. He didn't expect Pan Dahu's IQ to be so high. It seemed that he didn't rely on luck to get to this point, but strength. Fortunately, he had come prepared. Wang Zhong said, I just came here to take a shower. It's so late and these guards are still watching. Let me go. With that, Wang Zhong threw the water pipe away. He had already taken a shower. Pan Dahu shook his head and said, No one can take advantage of me here. Listen, no one. Is that so? I can let you go. I think you're quite interesting. Kneel down and maybe I'll let you go. Wang Zhong's face turned cold as he looked around. These people were definitely good at fighting. However, in today's training, he also saw that their strength was not as good as the two men in black who caught him. If he had to say, these people were only a little stronger than the top students in junior high school. Therefore, Wang Zhong was confident in dealing with these people. Only that Pan Dahu, Wang Zhong couldn't see through. Because during today's training, Pan Dahu only ran 2 laps and then left. The only variable was this Pan Dahu. Kid, why aren't you talking? The short man scolded. Wang Zhong smiled and turned his head to punch the short man. Then, he pulled his hair and slammed him to the ground. Things happened so suddenly that many people couldn't react in time. Wang Zhong stepped on the short man's head and said coldly, If you come any closer, I'll crush his head. Killing people here? You must be tired of living, the girl in Pan Dahu's arms said coldly. He. Wang Zhong smiled and thought to himself that he couldn't kill people indiscriminately. That would make things much easier. I don't want to cause any trouble today. You guys forced me to do this. Get out of the way, Wang Zhong said. Pan Dahu frowned. No one can make me suffer. Then I can. You? Pan Dahu was about to curse when Master Hu and Fan Si walked out of the house. What the F***ck are you doing? Master Hu cursed. Pan Dahu quickly lowered his head and said, Master Hu, 4th brother Fan. I just came here to wash my body. These people want to bully me. Wang Zhong argued. His current thinking was very simple. While obeying these people, he had to show his strength. Only by showing his strength would he be able to get their attention. Therefore, these conflicts were very necessary. Master Hu walked over and glanced at the short man on the ground that Wang Zhong was stepping on. He snorted. You can't even deal with a newcomer. Wang Zhong cupped his hands at Master Hu. Master Hu, I'll listen to you. I won't say anything about what you want me to do next. But these people want to cause trouble for me because I'm alone. I don't think anyone can take this lying down. Master Hu nodded. Okay, the two of you fight tomorrow. The loser dies. Okay, disperse. He seemed to have said something insignificant. Wang Zhong's heart relaxed. This short man was easy to deal with. He wasn't worried. Master Hu. Wang Zhong let go of the short man and walked towards Master Hu. What's the matter? Fan Si asked with a frown. It's like this. I just came here and I don't even have a blanket. I'm worried that I'll catch a cold and get sick. Wang Zhong mustered up his courage and continued, I just came here after all. Please do me a favor. Okay, I'll get someone to bring you a blanket later. Master Hu nodded and left. Wang Zhong returned to the house and found that the group of people who were originally sleeping were still awake. Instead, they were looking at him in shock. Not bad, Tang Yi. Master Hu usually doesn't give people face. He actually agreed to bring you a blanket, Tanaka said excitedly. I'm afraid it's because he defeated the short man and also insulted Pan Dahu, someone said. That's true. Pan Dahu has been the top student here for many years. Even Master Hu has to give him some face. Now that you've humiliated Pan Dahu, Master Hu will naturally give you face. Wang Zhong didn't expect there to be such a deep reason. Soon, someone brought a blanket over. That night, Wang Zhong fell into a deep sleep. Early the next morning, Master Hu kicked open the door of the house. Get up, eat breakfast, and train. The group of people crawled up. When he went to the cafeteria, Wang Zhong found that the short man, Pan Dahu, and the others were already seated and eating. However, what made people unhappy was that Pan Dahu had eaten a mouthful of everyone's food. He had even deliberately stepped on several white steamed buns. He looked at Wang Zhong provocatively and said coldly, This is the price you have to pay for last night. Wang Zhong smiled coldly. Pan Dahu's intention was simple. He wanted to make him unable to eat breakfast. When the time came for him to fight with the short man, he would definitely be at a disadvantage. His methods were indeed vicious. After Pan Dahu and the group of people ruined the food, they got up and touched their chins. We're all done eating. Help yourselves, Pan Dahu said proudly. F*CK, the food is ruined. What do you want us to eat? Someone said unhappily. Isn't there still food here? Pan Dahu pointed at the dirty steamed buns on the ground. Eat. Wang Zhong drank a mouthful of water at the side and said, Since the steamed buns are useless, let's eat white rice. There was still rice for lunch in the bucket. Wang Zhong grabbed a handful and ate. The cafeteria chef wanted to refuse, but the people behind rushed up. What's going on? What's going on? Master Hu rushed in with a wooden stick in his hand and smashed it at the crowd. F*CK. Who hit me? In an instant, the people were beaten until they cried for their parents. When they realized what was going on, they were all scared silly and looked at the person in shock. They all stood there, not daring to speak. Wang Zhong swallowed a handful of rice in his mouth and glanced at Master Hu. He then stood up straight and said, Master Hu, Pan Dahu's method is unfair to us. We can let him eat first, but why don't you let us eat? Who didn't let you eat? Pan Dahu said coldly. Wang Zhong pointed at the dirty rice on the ground. If you have the ability, you can lie on the ground and eat a few mouthfuls. Then I'll eat too. Chapter 245. Pan Dahu frowned. He also knew that the food on the ground was dirty. He did it on purpose. The purpose was that his friend Shorty would duel with Wang Zhong today. In order to make him hungry, he did this. He just didn't expect that this Wang Zhong was so difficult to deal with. He actually encouraged everyone to fight for rice and attracted Master Hu. Wang Zhong continued, Master Hu, we recognize the rules here, but people are made of iron and rice is made of steel. If we don't eat, how can we have the strength to train every day? Don't you think so? Tang Yi, what do you want? Pan Dahu shouted. Strength is respected here. I'm the first, and the rules are mine. Ha, then what do you think of Master Hu when you say that? Do you mean that Master Hu also has to listen to you? Wang Zhong sneered and thought that a child was a child. He found the loophole in his words so easily. Of course I don't mean that. Seeing Master Hu look at him, Panda Hu quickly explained. I think that's what you mean, said Wang Zhong. Humph you. Panda Hu was about to speak again when Master Hu suddenly shouted, Enough. Master Hu, Panda Hu said again, and Master Hu slapped him with his backhand. Pa! This slap directly threw Panda Hu out and landed on a table. The table was instantly smashed into pieces. Ugh, it hurts, Panda Hu said with pain all over his body. Master Hu said coldly, letting you be the first and have certain privileges doesn't mean that you can make others not eat, understand? Panda Hu was terrified and quickly nodded. I understand. Now, you are not allowed to eat for 3 days, Master Hu said. Panda Hu's body trembled and nodded. Yes, I won't eat for 3 days. The others, gather on the field. Tang Yi, you stay. Yes. Wang Zhong nodded. When the others went out, Master Hu walked in front of Wang Zhong. Suddenly, he punched Wang Zhong in the stomach. Bang! This punch was not strong, but it still made a sound. Wang Zhong was in so much pain that his body arched. Instructor, you. Wang Zhong's forehead was sweating because of the pain. Tang Yi, your provocation just now was quite good. You made me have no choice but to make a move against Panda Hu. You're quite the schemer, Grandpa Hu said indifferently. Wang Zhong frowned. It turned out that he was talking about this matter. He could only grit his teeth and say, I'm a very honest person, but the situation just now was indeed his fault. If I didn't say that, wouldn't I just let him continue to be arrogant? Although you are right, Panda Hu is also right. In this place, strength is respected. We are training first-class experts. It can be said that no matter how arrogant Panda Hu is, none of you can compare to Panda Hu. Do you understand? Is that so? Wang Zhong understood. We need top-notch assassins who can kill without leaving a trace, not weaklings like you. Do you understand? If that's the case, I just need to defeat Panda Hu, Wang Zhong said. Haha, you're young, but you're ambitious. I'd like to try, Wang Zhong shrugged. Today, you'll be dealing with Maguan San, that shorty. You'll only have the right to live if you defeat him, Grandpa Hu said and walked out. Grandpa Hu. Is there anything else? Grandpa Hu stopped. There's something I don't understand. Since you captured us to train us to be assassins, aren't you afraid that we'll betray you after we're trained? Wang Zhong was puzzled about this point. He decided to tell Grandpa Hu since he was in a good mood. Haha, do you think that the people in the organization are stupid? Grandpa Hu looked at Wang Zhong and thought to himself that he was still a child. He even asked such a childish question. Then he replied, You don't have to worry about that. The organization has ways to control you. All right, everyone, gather. Today's training was resistance training. Everyone had to choose a person to be beaten up for 5 minutes. After that, someone else would take over. Resistance training was not only about endurance training, but also about dodging. It was to see how many vital points one could avoid without fighting back. In order to prevent the students from going easy on each other, Grandpa Hu also proposed that whoever could defeat their opponent first would win the day without training. The loser would be punished. Thus, no one dared to be careless. Wang Zhong's opponent was a young man with a dignified appearance. He looked simple and honest. Before the fight, he even smiled at Wang Zhong. However, in the next moment, the veins on his forehead bulged and he threw a punch. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. This punch carried a surge of internal energy and rushed toward Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong dodged decisively. He was currently the one being beaten, so he could only dodge. However, the place where he could dodge was strictly limited. He could only move in a circle with a diameter of 2 meters. If he went beyond the circle, he would lose. Therefore, Wang Zhong only dodged 3 moves. In the next moment, he was faced with a heavy kick. Bang! Wang Zhong immediately raised his arm to block the incoming attack. Now that he had no other choice, he had to protect his weak point and reduce the damage to the minimum. Bang bang bang. Wang Zhong blocked continuously. He had to admit that such high-intensity training was much better than the training methods in school. As long as one could hold on until the end, the weakest person would be stronger than the first in school. However, it was different for Wang Zhong. His attainments in martial arts were already at the guru level, so he could barely hold on. 5 minutes finally passed. Wang Zhong's arms were sore and numb, but his opponent was not in a good state either. The desperate attacks exhausted his strength and consumed too much internal energy. "It's my turn." Wang Zhong grinned. The other party immediately showed a simple and honest look. "Please take care of me." Wang Zhong would not show mercy. He clenched his hand into a fist and smashed it fiercely. The other party wanted to dodge at first, but soon he found that Wang Zhong's speed was faster. His originally simple and honest face immediately became serious. He originally thought that this kid who dared to fight with Pandahu as a newcomer must be a hothead who would be easy to deal with. Now it seemed that this guy was not easy to deal with. Seeing that he could not dodge, he could only block with his fists in front of his body and keep hitting. Bang bang bang. Wang Zhong's fist was very strong. In the blink of an eye, the other party's arm was in pain. "So strong, I can't hold on." Bang! With the last punch, the person was instantly sent flying. He fell to the ground and wailed in pain. He failed so quickly. Master Hu, who was not far away, raised his eyebrows and looked at Wang Zhong in surprise. "This guy does have the capital to be arrogant, but he's still a little weak against Pandahu," Master Hu said secretly. In fact, he did not know that Wang Zhong was still holding back in those few moves. They trained like this until noon. Master Hu shouted, "Okay, before we eat, let's settle yesterday's grudge." Wang Zhong stood up. This was his first duel here. Chapter 246. As Wang Zhong walked out, the short man also walked out slowly with his head lowered. He glanced at Wang Zhong and grinned. His teeth were actually sharpened by him. However, Wang Zhong didn't think it was going to work. "This is your fight to the death. This is your punishment for being disobedient last night. Do you understand?" Mr. Hu shouted. Wang Zhong nodded and didn't say anything. Then, the short man quietly attacked. Because he was short, he attacked Wang Zhong's lower body. "Monkey steals peaches, I'll steal, I'll steal, I'll steal." As the short man fought, he kept using insidious moves. Wang Zhong didn't know how to react to her attacks. The main reason was that it was very difficult to hit him with a punch. If she kicked him, what if he really stole her peach? So, he could only dodge for now. "You run pretty fast." The short man quietly retreated. It was tiring to use the monkey steals peaches continuously, so he needed to rest for a while. Wang Zhong moved with his legs. The short man was less than 1.5 meters tall. Legs were the best way to deal with him. However, the moves he learned were all insidious moves like the monkey steals peaches. It was a little difficult to deal with him. "He. Pandahu sneered not far away. The short man was the weakest among his friends. If it were last night, the short man would definitely not be a match for this ugly guy. However, it was different with him around. Everyone thought that he, Pandahu, was strong because of his strength. But they were wrong. In the past, there were too many strong opponents, but weren't they all defeated by him? His real secret was his observation skills. He wanted to find your strengths and avoid them. Then, he would find your weaknesses and attack them specifically. Through Wang Zhong's training, he noticed that Wang Zhong was fast and good at boxing. So, the short man, Ma Guanshan, had to first avoid his boxing and then use the monkey steals peaches to attack his opponent's lower body. This was the most effective and concise move. He had already reminded Ma Guanshan that once the monkey steals peaches successfully stole the peach, he could just crush it. At that time, Tang Yi would no longer have the strength to resist. Ma Guanshan took a deep breath. Now that he had rested enough, he attacked again. Monkey hits peach. This time, he wasn't trying to steal the peach. Instead, he was throwing punch after punch. This move was even faster. Wang Zhong frowned as he dodged his attacks and searched for Ma Guan Mountain's weakness. Playing this trick with him? It seemed like he would have to use some of his inner strength. Wang Zhong took a step forward and his inner force flowed into his feet. The monkey hits the peach. Ma Guanshan threw a heavy punch. Right now, Wang Zhong aimed at Ma Guanshan's fist. This was called exchanging a punch for a kick. It was a contest of strength. Whoever had the most power would be able to win in this move. Wang Zhong's internal energy surged out as he ruthlessly smashed over. In Ma Guanshan's eyes, he was overjoyed. His fist was already imbued with internal energy. Wasn't this a sure win? However, he only felt a sting on his fist after the contact. Then, he couldn't feel anything. He was crippled. He felt his arm break in half. He couldn't feel anything anymore. Ah! He only regained his senses after falling to the ground. It's broken. My arm, my arm. No one helped him up. Pan Dahu frowned and cursed under his breath. Tang Yi, you've won. Get rid of him, Master Hu said calmly. He wanted Wang Zhong to kill Ma Guanshan. It was cruel, but this was the cruel reality. This was the law of the jungle. Fortunately, it wasn't the first time Wang Zhong had killed someone. He walked over, stepped on Ma Guanshan's neck and exerted force. Ma Guanshan was dead. Everyone felt a sense of dread towards Wang Zhong. Although he was a newcomer, his attitude and killing methods were not like a newcomer at all. Instead, he was like a veteran. From Master Hu's point of view, he was very satisfied with Wang Zhong's performance. This was the quality that an assassin should have. Pan Dahu was the only one in this group of people who had this quality. But he had also experienced many years of grinding, and that was why he had such qualities. He could not understand, how could Tang Yi, this ugly freak, have such qualities? Perhaps, this was talent. Master Hu thought to himself, take the body away. Yes. 2 gods came over. Ma Guanshan's body would be thrown into a mass grave nearby and slowly decomposed. No one would know what had happened here. The next step was to continue training. However, with this proof of his strength, no one dared to underestimate Wang Zhong. When it was time to eat, Pan Dahu would walk over to eat and Wang Zhong would follow behind. However, Wang Zhong only took his bowl and ate in front of Pan Dahu. Perhaps because of the previous experience, Pan Dahu no longer dared to say anything to Wang Zhong. He only stared at Wang Zhong from time to time, as if warning Wang Zhong not to be tactless. Wang Zhong automatically ignored his stare. What he needed to do now was to eat his fill and then train. If anyone wanted to provoke him, he would accompany them any time. However, when night fell, Wang Zhong looked up at the sky. From time to time, he would think about his adoptive parents. Ran Xia ran away from home that night. He didn't know how she was doing. He wasn't by her side. Did Ran Xia mix with those delinquents again? He sighed. Now that he was trapped here, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to go back for 3 to 5 years. However, once he went back, he must find out more about this assassin organization. He wanted to become stronger, to become one of the strongest. He wanted the world to admire him, not just because he was an ugly freak. Being ugly wasn't scary. What was scary was being ugly and not being aggressive. That was scary. The days of training were very hard, but just like the law of the jungle, as long as you were strong, no matter how hard the training was, it wouldn't be too hard because you were strong. Half a year had passed, and now Wang Zhong's position in the camp was about the same as Pan Dahu's. Even Pan Dahu didn't dare to face Wang Zhong directly. He even showed kindness from time to time. For example, he invited Wang Zhong to his room and used the hot water in his room to take a bath. He even said that he would give his sister to Wang Zhong to enjoy. It had to be said that Pan Dahu was strong and smart. He knew that all these were external things, and even face didn't matter. As long as a strong person like Wang Zhong didn't make an enemy of him, he could continue to live until he left. His plan was indeed not bad. To Wang Zhong, there was no need for him to fight with Pan Dahu to the point where both sides would suffer. Therefore, he accepted Pan Dahu's benefits. As for his women, Wang Zhong didn't accept them. It wasn't that he wanted to show off, nor was it that he disliked them. He just didn't want to get too involved with them. What if she was pregnant? Could it be outside his body? He didn't know how his body was in this world. What if he couldn't control it? Chapter 247. The days passed as they trained. Just like before, after such a long period of time, one person would be eliminated every month. The result of elimination was death. Several people begged Wang Zhong to teach them how to train and become stronger before they died. Unfortunately, it was useless to cram at the last minute. There was also the gap in talent. After the New Year's Day, a ship stopped at the seaside again. Dozens of children in their teens were pulled onto the boat one by one. There were people from all countries. These people looked around blankly. Before they could react, they were led to the camp by strong men. Wang Zhong was training with his team members when he soon saw the group of newcomers. 3 girls and 9 boys. Compared to their original physical fitness, this group of newcomers was obviously much weaker. Master Hu also noticed this. He frowned and walked toward Fan Si, who was leading the newcomers. "Old Fan, why are these newcomers so weak?" Master Hu asked. "Do you think it's so easy to find children with good physical fitness?" Fan Si said, "These children are cannon fodder. I can guarantee that they won't live for 3 months, Master Hu said. The organization has just given a new order." "Oh, what order?" Master Hu was curious. 2 forces have produced 2 grandmasters. Grandmasters? Master Hu's expression changed drastically. The power of a grandmaster was terrifying. Every grandmaster could be said to be the top existence of their respective forces. Some ordinary people thought that no matter how powerful martial arts were, they could not be that powerful. Could they be better than guns or bombs? However, Master Hu and the others knew that grandmasters were really strong. Even if they could not be compared to bombs, they could still catch bullets with their bare hands. A grandmaster, under unrestricted circumstances, could even slaughter his way in and out of a heavily guarded army. Therefore, every grandmaster was a treasure to the country. They needed to be recruited. "Which 2 forces are they?" Master Hu was curious. "They are both opponents of our organization. Therefore, the higher-ups have issued an order. We need a group of men of sacrifice." Men of sacrifice? Master Hu raised his eyebrows. It was not difficult to understand why they needed men of sacrifice. Their organization trained men of sacrifice all year round to carry out certain death missions. The most common one was a suicide bomber. Therefore, the requirements for the Death Warriors training were not so strict. They just needed to pass the test. These people are the next batch of Death Warriors. After training them to a certain extent, they will be put to work. To deal with those 2 grandmasters, Master Hu guessed. If the organization wanted to survive, they needed to get rid of the strong opponents of the enemy organization. Therefore, it was best to use these men of sacrifice. Get close to those grandmasters and then detonate the bomb. Perfect. It's good that you know. There's no need to say it out loud, Fan Si said indifferently. Okay, I understand. Master Hu nodded. In the following months, the losers won't have to kill them. The losers will be assigned to the Death Warrior camp. All right. The 2 of them didn't try to avoid arousing suspicion as they continued to talk by the side. Therefore, Wang Zhong, Pan Dahu, and the others heard everything. Many people looked at the new children with pity in their eyes. The Death Warriors all had very tragic endings. They were completely just tools. However, whether it was Wang Zhong or the others, this had nothing to do with them. All right, let's continue training. Master Hu clapped his hands. Wang Zhong and the others continued to train. As for the new people, they were taken to the back alone for brainwashing training. As for the night, the new people were arranged to sleep in their new residence because of their different identities. Wang Zhong looked around. It was a house on the side, surrounded by rows of iron nets. Days passed by. Wang Zhong felt that he was more familiar with this place. That night, he used the excuse of going out to pee and was ready to familiarize himself with the nearby terrain. He had thought about it. It was not a good idea to stay there all the time. If possible, he would leave in advance. Of course, the premise of all this was to ensure his own safety. On the old team members' side, the house was already dark. Many of them were already sound asleep because of the difficult training during the day. However, the new people's side was brightly lit. Wang Zhong knew the reason for this. During the day, Fan Si told Master Hu that he would implant a miniature bomb in every Death Warrior today to better control them. Because of this news, Wang Zhong knew that most of the guards would be there tonight. That was why he walked out. When he came to the fence, the guards were not there. Wang Zhong easily flipped over. He had already made preparations beforehand. Therefore, even if he could not see his fingers, he could roughly know the way he came. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Shuttling through the dense forest, there were rustling sounds. Finally, after running for a while, Wang Zhong came to the beach. At the end of the beach, there was only endless seawater. There were no boats at all. Wang Zhong was a little disappointed and could only go back for the time being. On the way back, he suddenly saw a fork in the road on the right. It was obviously not normal for there to be a fork in the road in the middle of nowhere. Therefore, he walked towards the fork and suddenly remembered what Master Hu had said. Their training here was only basic training. The next place they were going to was the real base. Could it be that this road led to the real base? Wang Zhong walked all the way and realized that the road was getting wider and wider. There were even traces of vehicles driving here. Because the road was getting wider and wider, the moonlight had illuminated the surroundings. Wang Zhong walked a few steps and found a huge black shadow building in front of him. The first thing that came into view was a huge sentry tower. The powerful lights on it swayed around, monitoring everything in the dense forest. Just as the lights shone over, Wang Zhong immediately hid in the small forest on the side. The lights quickly passed, and Wang Zhong breathed a sigh of relief. This island was really too dangerous. It could be seen that unless the outside world took the initiative to come here, the people on the island would never leave this place. Especially this huge base. This should be the place where the organization really trained assassins. Once this batch of children passed, they would be sent here. This was the place that was really heavily guarded. Hulalala. At this time, Wang Zhong's ears twitched because he heard the sound of water flowing from the side. Wang Zhong looked towards the direction of the water flow. He was a little curious because he seemed to hear the sound of someone taking a bath. Only then did Wang Zhong discover that there was actually a small pond here. Under the illumination of the moonlight, he discovered a graceful figure hiding in the water, taking a bath. It seemed to be a woman. Wang Zhong muttered in his heart, "How could there be a woman in such a heavily guarded place?" He glanced and saw a woman sitting by the river, wiping herself. Chapter 248. The woman had a pretty face and looked quite young. Her clothes were piled up at the side, and her entire body was in the water. A frown appeared on Wang Zhong's face. How could there be a woman bathing in this desolate place? He suddenly had an idea. Since the woman was here, it meant that she had something to do with the base. If he kidnapped her, perhaps, he could get something out of her. Thinking of this, Wang Zhong quietly picked up a broken branch from the ground and prepared to launch a surprise attack on her. Stepping on the branch, Wang Zhong quietly crept over. However, at this moment, there were too many leaves and branches on the ground. It was inevitable that there would be some noise. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Who is it? In an instant, the woman turned her head and looked in Wang Zhong's direction. Her hearing was so sensitive. Wang Zhong decided to bide his time and not make a move. The woman quickly picked up her clothes. Wang Zhong took a closer look and saw that it was a black coat. Just as she finished putting on her clothes, a shiny handgun appeared in her hands. Wang Zhong thought to himself that he was unlucky. In terms of martial arts, he was confident that he could deal with this woman. However, she had a gun. In a situation where both sides' identities were unknown, he decided to avoid it. He immediately turned around and ran. Bang, bang, bang. Bullets whistled past Wang Zhong's ears. Wang Zhong ran faster and ran in a zigzag pattern. In the blink of an eye, he had left the place and was running in the direction of the base. The reason why he ran here was because he was worried that the woman would see that he was from the freshman's camp. However, he did not have to worry about this if he was heading toward the base. After running a few steps, he ran into the forest. After getting his bearings, he ran in the direction of the camp. Bang, bang. The woman fired a few more shots and chased after Wang Zhong. There were indeed a few footprints on the ground. The woman frowned. Who dares to peek at me bathing? She looked in the direction where Wang Zhong had run and sneered. You purposely ran in the direction of the base to make me think that you are from the base. Humph, you think I'm so easy to fool? The woman was now certain that the person who had peeked at her bathing was from the freshman's camp. What's wrong with Qin Hu? He can't even keep a watch on a few newbies? As she spoke, she walked towards the base. But this is good too. Tomorrow, we can teach Qin Hu a lesson. Wang Zhong shuttled through the forest as fast as he could and soon saw the steel wire fence surrounding the camp. However, this was the freshman's side of the wall. He climbed over it and walked towards his own dormitory. Suddenly, there was a rustling sound from the side of the grass. Wang Zhong turned his head back to take a look. He noticed a petite figure in the bush. Wang Zhong furrowed his eyebrows. This figure was clearly not a guard, as a guard would not hide, let alone wear such shabby clothes. It was obvious that this girl was a student like him. However, there was something wrong with her hiding here so late at night. No matter what, she had already seen him coming in from the outside, so he had to get rid of her first to prevent her from talking too much. This was the first time Wang Zhong had the intention to kill. For a moment, killing intent filled his eyes. In an instant, he rushed over and grabbed the girl's hair, pulling her out of the bushes. Ah! It hurts. The girl's voice was very weak. She seemed to be severely malnourished. At first glance, she had a baby face, but her body was very well proportioned. If she was allowed to grow, she would definitely be a great beauty. Why are you here? Wang Zhong asked coldly. Boo-hoo. I miss my mother. The girl cried. At that moment, Wang Zhong noticed a small wound on her neck. The wound had already been stitched up, but the surface was bulging as if something was buried in the wound. That girl seems to have escaped over there. Chase after her. A bunch of useless things. Hurry up and find her. Fan Si's voice sounded. Wang Zhong's heart skipped a beat. Looking at the trembling girl, he knew that she was like him. She had probably escaped secretly. Wang Zhong's killing intent filled his heart. Just as he was about to kill her, Fan Si's shout came from behind him. So you're here. Tang Yi, why are you with the loyalists? Wang Zhong's heart tightened as he thought about how to deal with it. If he knew that he had escaped, even if he didn't die, he probably wouldn't be trusted in the future. What do I do? What do I do? Instantly, Wang Zhong's mind was filled with thoughts. Tang Yi, are you deaf? I'm talking to you. Fan Si scolded. Wang Zhong suddenly laughed and grabbed the girl's neck. This girl just asked me where the bathroom was. I couldn't help it when I saw how pretty she was. With that said, he licked the girl a few times and said with a faint smile, "This girl is really pretty. Boss Fan Si, you don't mind, right?" Now, Wang Zhong believed that he was considered a veteran. With his strength, be it Master Hu or Fan Si, they would usually give him some face. Of course, the premise was that he was always obedient. Therefore, after much thought, Wang Zhong found an excuse. You mean you brought her here? Fan Si asked. Of course. Wang Zhong shrugged. Why? Are you looking for her? Just now, I was implanting chips into the kamikaze warriors and told her to go back, but she didn't return to the dormitory halfway, so I came out to look for her. Fan Si frowned and said to the girl, Wang Xiaoro, if you want to go to the bathroom, then go to the bathroom. Why did you come here? He. Wang Zhong just smiled and rubbed his palm on Wang Xiaoro's back. It seemed like a good time, but it was actually to remind Wang Xiaoro not to say the wrong thing. He believed that this girl might look delicate, but since she had survived here until now, she should know something. I was going to the toilet and was dragged here by this big brother. Woo. Big brother, I'm still a child. Don't. At this moment, the girl distanced herself from Wang Zhong. Her acting was quite convincing. Although Fan Si had doubts in his heart, he didn't intend to pursue it. After all, the higher-ups had already issued an order that killing was forbidden unless it was necessary because they wanted to keep people as kamikaze warriors. Brother Fan, why don't you let her accompany me? Wang Zhong smiled. Humph. Wait until you become the first here. Fan Si sneered and said to the girl, Let's go now. Okay. Wang Xiaoro nodded and looked at Wang Zhong timidly. However, deep in her eyes, there was a trace of gratitude and doubt. She was very curious. Why would this big brother help her? Why? Brother Fan, you are still busy at this time? Wang Zhong wanted to know more and was worried that the girl would talk nonsense, so he followed them. Fan Si was not wary of Wang Zhong. In his opinion, this group of people would be controlled sooner or later. Implanting chips into the kamikaze warriors. Fan Si smiled at Wang Zhong. Don't worry, it will be your turn soon. Chapter 249. Wang Zhong raised his eyebrows and asked, I thought we weren't loyalists. There's no need to treat us like this. You're overthinking things. The organization implants chips in everyone to control you, including us. With that said, Fan Si lifted the back of his ear. There was a fingernail-sized scar there. You have one too? Wang Zhong asked. Of course. Fan Si sneered. Of course, you don't have to worry. As long as you listen to the organization, they won't do anything to you. You just won't have freedom. Fan Si didn't hide anything. He brought Wang Zhong and Wang Xiaoro to the place where the chips were implanted. At this moment, a group of loyalist children were lined up in a row. A doctor wearing a white mask was cutting a piece of flesh behind a child's ear. Although the children were afraid, their experiences here made them very strong. Enduring the pain, the wound behind the child's ear was squeezed open. The doctor picked up something that looked like a capsule and placed it inside the wound. After it was done, a beautiful blonde nurse behind the doctor stepped forward and began to suture the child. Why is this ugly freak following us? Master Hu looked at Wang Zhong unhappily. Since he was used to being called ugly, Wang Zhong didn't care. He raised his head arrogantly and hugged Wang Xiaoro. This girl is quite fresh. I like her. Heh, it's a pity that you're not first place here. Only the first place has the chance to enjoy it. Master Hu shrugged. You're not qualified. Is that so? I'll defeat Pandahu sooner or later, Wang Zhong said. You're too arrogant. I have the right to be arrogant. I can defeat Pandahu at any time, Wang Zhong said. After this period of training, he already had sufficient confidence. Then, Wang Zhong glanced around and curled his lips. It's not fun. I'm leaving first. Okay, don't run around, Fan Si said. By the way, bring this girl to the dormitory. Got it. Wang Zhong deliberately snorted unhappily. You won't let me eat. You made me do all the work. What? You're not satisfied? Fan Si glared. I don't dare, I don't dare. Wang Zhong said deliberately. He hugged Wang Xiaoro and said, Little girl, let's go. As he spoke, he patted Wang Xiaoro's butt. After Wang Zhong left, Fan Si sneered, although his ability is not bad, it's a pity that he's a little lacking. I didn't see it in the past, but I'm afraid that this brat will suffer because of women in the future, Master Hu said. In the past, I just came here and didn't dare to do it. Now that I'm an old bird, my nature is exposed. Fan Si shook his head. However, these people are not under our control. When they reach the age, they will be sent there. That's right. That's the real cruel place. Master Hu's face darkened. Wang Zhong was unaware of the conversation between the two. Then, he led Wang Xiaoro to the dormitory. My name is Tang Yi, they all call me Ugly Person. Wang Zhong walked to the side and hugged Wang Xiaoro. He said coldly, I don't want anyone to know that I went out. Do you understand? I understand. I won't say anything. Fortunately, you helped me cover up my lie. Otherwise, I would have been beaten up. Wang Xiaoro lowered her head. We are all in the same boat. Wang Zhong nodded. This little girl was sensible. Sensible children were likable. Did you want to run away just now? Wang Zhong asked again. Wang Xiaoro nodded slightly. I want to go home. Sigh, give up on that thought. Train yourself well in the future. If anyone bullies you, tell me. Okay, thank you, big brother. Although you seem to be bullying me, I can tell that you are a good person. Wang Xiaoro said as she entered the dormitory. Immediately, two girls came over and kicked her. F*CK, where did this brat go? She caused us to be scolded, a blonde girl shouted. I went to the toilet. Wang Xiaoro lowered her head, not daring to speak. It was obvious that she was used to being bullied by these people. Humph, going to the toilet? I think you want to run away, right? No, I really want to run away. Wang Xiaoro cried. F*CK, I think you are looking for a beating. The more weak Wang Xiaoro was, the more these people wanted to bully her. This was the nature of children. Just as they were about to pull Wang Xiaoro's hair, Wang Zhong walked in and grabbed the neck of the leading girl. Slap, slap, slap. Without saying a word, he slapped her twice. You. Seeing the person who came, the group of people in the dormitory had a huge change in expression. Although they didn't know who Wang Zhong was, they had seen him during training. They knew that Wang Zhong was an old member here. Looking at his status, he wasn't an ordinary student. Slap, slap. Wang Zhong slapped her twice again and asked, Why are you bullying my girl? Your girl? The blonde girl's expression changed. The other people in the dormitory also changed their expression. When did Wang Xiaoro become an old student's girl? Who would dare to bully her in the future? Big brother, I didn't know she was your girl? The blonde girl spat out blood and said with difficulty, You didn't know? Hee. Wang Zhong laughed. Didn't you see that I sent her back? As he spoke, he kicked the other girl. The girl immediately bent over and clutched her stomach as she howled in pain. Listen to me, Wang Xiaoro is my girl. If anyone dares to bully her in the future, they are going against this ugly monster. Do you understand? Wang Zhong pulled the blonde girl's hair and asked. In order to establish his prestige, Wang Zhong highlighted his identity as an ugly monster. Not only was he ugly, but he was also very dangerous. Big brother Tang, we understand. The blonde girl nodded repeatedly. As a group of new students, how could they be qualified to challenge Wang Zhong? Even if they complained to Fan Si and Master Hu, they would probably ignore it. Because this is a society that follows the law of the jungle. If you are strong, people will give you face. Even if you hit or scold people, no one will dare to say anything. If you are weak, even if you are in the right, being weak is the original sin. Go to sleep. Wang Zhong let go of his hand, and the blonde girl retreated in horror. Wang Zhong helped Wang Xiaoro up and said solemnly, You are my girl. No one can bully you in the future, do you understand? I understand. Wang Xiaoro nodded with determination in her eyes. I'm leaving. Looking at Wang Zhong's back, Wang Xiaoro couldn't help but clench her fists. On the way back to the house, Wang Zhong thought. He helped Wang Xiaoro just now because she was pitiful. Plus, this girl was quite sensible, so he helped her in passing. However, Wang Zhong reckoned that the necklaces of these kamikaze soldiers were the organization's means of controlling everyone. The next step is to find out what these things are. Wang Zhong thought to himself. The following days were just like before. Everyone spent their time in training. But many people knew that Wang Xiaoro was Wang Zhong's girl. Tang Yi. On this day, Wang Zhong was eating when Pan Dahu walked towards him. What's the matter? Wang Zhong didn't raise his head as he ate the vegetables. Chapter 250. What's the matter? Wang Zhong did not even raise his head as he continued to eat his vegetables. As for Wang Xiaoro, she was sitting beside him. This was also Wang Zhong's request. Wang Xiaoro usually ate the leftovers of others. Since Wang Zhong was protecting her, he let her eat with him. Pan Dahu smiled and looked at Wang Xiaoro. Sister, I want to talk to your man. The meaning behind his words was for them to talk in private, while you go away and do your work. Wang Xiaoro looked at Wang Zhong, as if asking what to do. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. Go to the side and eat. Wang Xiaoro then left. With two big shots eating here, the others did not dare to come close. They all stayed far away. Brother Pan Dahu, why are you looking for an ugly person like me? Wang Zhong asked while gnawing on a chicken leg. Pan Dahu was actually not satisfied with Wang Zhong's attitude, but who asked Wang Zhong to have the strength to be close to him. Thus, he only smiled and said, a month later, there will be a large competition, and the first place will be decided. Wang Zhong nodded. The first place has special privileges, and everyone wants to be first. I hope you won't fight with me. Pan Dahu said. He. Wang Zhong directly laughed, looking at Pan Dahu as if looking at an idiot. The first place has special privileges. I can also pick up girls like you. Why? Only you are allowed to pick up girls, and not us? Pan Dahu shook his head. Of course not, but in 2 years, I will be going to the real assassin training. If I go and get first place, it will give me a lot of benefits, so please let me go. Of course, I am not afraid of you, but I don't want both of us to suffer, understand? Afraid that Wang Zhong would not agree, Pan Dahu continued. Of course, I will not let you help me for free. That girl of mine, I will give you, you can come over to play at night. Wearing a green hat for himself? Wang Zhong was happy, but still rejected, that is not necessary. What about my conditions? Wang Zhong looked at Pan Dahu and said coolly, reject. Pan Dahu was not a problem for him. His only advantage now was that he was in first place. Once he became the champion, Pan Dahu would be nothing to him. Therefore, there was no need for him to promise him anything. Tang Yi, have you thought it through? Pan Dahu frowned. He didn't expect this ugly freak to be so stubborn. He really didn't know how to appreciate favors. However, the more Wang Zhong acted like this, the more he feared him. Wang Zhong said indifferently, of course I've thought it through. I'm definitely going to take first place. Humph. Pan Dahu slammed the table, turned around and left. Wang Zhong finished his meal in a short while. Just as he walked out of the door, he saw a jeep at the entrance of the camp. Generally speaking, cars rarely came in, and every time they did, it meant that these people came from the assassin training base. All of you gather. Now. Master Hu roared from afar. Regardless of whether it was the new students or the old students, they all rushed over. What's going on? Wang Zhong came to Tanaka's side. I'm not sure, but looking at the license plate, it's a car from the assassin training base. Wow, the beauty in the car is so beautiful. Tanaka's eyes were already shining. Indeed, the beauty in the car had a curvy figure. She wore a tight black bodysuit and a pair of sunglasses. Once she got out of the car, she scanned the surroundings. Wang Zhong frowned. He realized that he knew this woman. She was the one who had accidentally peeked at him bathing that night. After that day, he thought that the woman would come over to ask who had sneaked out that night. However, she didn't come over to ask. He didn't expect her to come today. The one who got out of the car with the woman was a middle-aged woman who also wore sunglasses. "Hello, sir." Master who immediately saluted the middle-aged woman. "Hi is here." Tanaka looked at the middle-aged woman in surprise. "Do you know her?" Wang Zhong was curious. "She's one of the highest leaders on this island. She specializes in training female assassins. I've only seen her once. At that time, she personally came over to select female assassins. I only heard about her identity from Master Hu and the others last time," Tanaka whispered. Wang Zhong nodded as he thought to himself, "I wonder how strong this female assassin leader, Hi, is. What about the one beside her? Have you seen her?" Wang Zhong asked. "I haven't seen her, but I've heard of her," Tanaka said. "Oh." Before Pandahu, do you know who was number one? Tanaka looked at the girl in leather clothes not far away and said, "It's her, Xiao Mei. Her nickname is Thorny Rose." Thorny Rose. Wang Zhong said, "Why is she called that?" He felt that this nickname was much better than his cold-faced doctor. Fortunately, the nickname was not given by him, but by someone else. "Because her hidden weapons are very powerful," Tanaka replied. "Her needles can hit the enemy's aorta. That's why she's called Thorny Rose. Looks like she's really a dangerous person." Wang Zhong nodded. After Thorny Rose left, Pandahu, who was in second place, became number one. Otherwise, he definitely wouldn't be Xiao Mei's match. At that moment, Hi led Xiao Mei over. Tanaka immediately shut his mouth, straightened his body, and looked forward. After a while, Wang Zhong, Tanaka, and the others all lined up in a row. Wang Xiaorou's group of loyalists also lined up, as if they were being inspected by Hi. "Qin Hu." Hi held her hands behind her back and walked straight in front of the group. She asked, "Have you lost anyone in your camp recently?" Qin Hu seemed to be very afraid of Hi. He quickly said, "No." Bang! Suddenly, Hi swung her leg and threw Qin Hu to the ground. "Officer you." Qin Hu was puzzled. "You said you didn't lose anyone here. But why did Xiao Mei see someone outside a few nights ago?" Hi asked coldly. "I don't know about that either. I really didn't lose anyone here. Fan Si can testify to that." Qin Hu lowered his head. Although he was dissatisfied, he didn't dare to say anything. "Could it be that someone came out from your side?" Fan Si asked. Xiao Mei walked over and said, 10 days ago, someone suddenly came out when I was at the riverside. After we went back, we checked the base. No one left." "That's strange. We really didn't lose anyone here," Fan Si said. Yes. There's a list." "Officer you've hit the wrong person," Qin Hu quickly said. Hi looked at Xiao Mei. Xiao Mei walked towards the group and said calmly, "I saw that figure before. Although it was dark and I couldn't see clearly, I still saw a rough outline." As she spoke, her large eyes stared at the people in the group, as if she was looking for something. "What an ugly person." Looking over, Xiao Mei noticed Wang Zhong and frowned. How could this person be so ugly? Chapter 251. Qin Hu, you're getting worse and worse. You even took in such an ugly assassin. Xiao Mei stopped paying attention to Wang Zhong and walked forward. Assassins don't need to be good-looking, Qin Hu said. They're all people who can't be seen in public. What's the point of being good-looking? But he's so eye-catching. It's easy for people to notice him, Xiao Mei said calmly. Although he's ugly, he's very talented. He used to be the top student in school. If he wasn't here, he would definitely be the top scholar, Fan Si, who had captured Wang Zhong, said. Is that so? Then he's very powerful. Is he the top student now? Xiao Mei asked. I'm not, but I've already signed up for the top student competition in a month, Wang Zhong said expressionlessly. Although this woman was young, she gave him a very dangerous feeling when she got close to him. This woman was not to be trifled with. But he wasn't easy to deal with either. Looking at her, she still didn't know that he was the one who had peeked at her bathing that night. At this time, he couldn't show any fear. He had to look her straight in the eye. So what if he was ugly? Did being ugly have no human rights? You're quite confident. Pandahu, it looks like you have an opponent, Xiao Mei said. Pandahu looked at Xiao Mei fearfully, but he didn't say anything. Xiao Mei continued walking. Healy asked, How is it? These people are about the same size. I can't tell. But I think that since this person could run out, his ability is probably not ordinary, Xiao Mei said. Wang Zhong's heart jumped. This woman was quite smart. She actually thought of using this method to find him. Qin Hu, tell me the strength of these people later, Healy said. Xiao Hu nodded and said, Got it. Let's go. Healy brought Xiao Mei into the car and left. After driving for a while, Healy said expressionlessly, You've achieved your goal, right? Master, what do you mean? Xiao Mei asked. You're here to find him. Isn't it to embarrass Qinghu? Healy said. Master, you're still the best. You saw through me. Xiao Mei sighed. Back then, when she was a freshman here, she was bullied by many people because of her weak ability. And Qinghu, seeing that she was pretty, actually wanted to do something bad to her. Of course she wouldn't. In the end, he resisted with all his might, but he didn't expect to be noticed by He Hai. Subsequently, He Hai stepped forward to protect her. However, as a new student, how could she possibly receive He Hai's protection? Hence, from then on, she trained herself as hard as she could. Surprisingly, although she wasn't strong, she unexpectedly showed her talent during a darts training session. That was because his aim was very good. In just a day's work, she had mastered the flying dagger, and the dagger did not miss its target. After that, He Hai saw that she was quite resilient and took her in as a disciple. In her heart, she was very grateful to He Hai, but she was filled with hatred towards Qin Hu. She didn't know how many people had died in Qin Hu's hands. Back then, Qin Hu had kicked her closest friend to death. Because of that, she hated Qin Hu to the core. That was why she came to find trouble with him. You're my disciple. Of course, I can tell what you're thinking. To be honest, I don't like the way Qin Hu does things. Back then, we were all members of the organization. Although I was his superior, I couldn't punish him for no reason, Healy said. Master, I understand. However, I did see someone that night. Who do you think that person was in the group just now? He Hai asked. There were 5 people who looked similar, but that person was very skilled. He should be the strongest of the 5. As for the specific person, you'll have to look at their names. After thinking for a while, Xiao Mei said, That's right. His figure was similar to that ugly freak. Ugly freak? Yes. The person with the birthmark on his face. I didn't expect that there would be such an ugly person in the world, Xiao Mei muttered. Okay. Let's investigate it later. He Hai stepped on the accelerator and sped away. After the two of them left, Wang Zhong and the rest continued their training. Fan Si and Qin Hu walked to the side. F*CK. That girl is getting more and more arrogant. Didn't she just find He Hai to back her up? She actually came to my place to behave atrociously. Qin Hu was so angry that he cursed. If I had known, I would have killed her back then. You should be more careful. Xiao Mei rarely gets something on you. I'm afraid she won't let it go. It's best to investigate who went out, Fan Si reminded. There's nothing to investigate. We didn't lose anyone here. It's just that Xiao Mei came to find trouble with me. Then I'll go get the name list. Train these people well. Xiao Mei and He Hai will come for the competition for first place in a month. Don't let them say that the people you trained are trash again. If the organization isn't satisfied with you, it'll be troublesome if they send you out on missions, Fan Si said. Qin, whose face turned pale. He quickly nodded. I understand. I'll train them harder during this period. Okay. How many people signed up for the competition? A total of 5. Okay. Arrange them well. Wang Zhong naturally didn't hear the conversation between the two of them. While he was training, he was thinking about what to do next. That Xiao Mei was obviously not easy to deal with. How could he dispel her suspicions? What comforted him was that Xiao Mei and Qin, who didn't seem to have a good relationship. In that case, could he do something about it? The answer was yes. A plan appeared in his mind. If this plan could be implemented, not only would he be able to overcome this obstacle, but he would also be able to have a better life in the future. After that, he continued to train. The investigation of people going out at night seemed to have stopped. However, Wang Zhong didn't stop thinking about it. Finally, the competition for first place came. The so-called competition for first place was for those who thought they had some ability to sign up. As long as they were strong enough and won first place, they would be the first to eat and enjoy a private room. They could even choose a girl to serve them. They would even have the opportunity to walk around. They didn't have to train every day and had a lot of freedom. Including Pan Dahu, there were a total of 5 people who signed up. What surprised Wang Zhong was that Tanaka, who hadn't been in the limelight, also signed up. Apart from him, there was also a chubby girl. She was also relatively strong and had great strength. The other was a skinny man. He didn't talk much, but his claw skills were very powerful. On this day, He Hai, Xiao Mei, and the others came again in a jeep. This time, there were a few cars. They seemed to be the higher-ups of the base. There were also some assassins there. The men and women were all wearing black suits and black gloves, standing straight in a row. Wang Zhong automatically knew that these people were the real assassins. They were the ones who had walked out of this place. The competition hadn't started yet. Wang Zhong was free to move around. At this time, he noticed that Xiao Mei was training alone at the darts field. Chapter 252. So. Xiao Mei's posture of throwing darts was very standard. Every time she shot, it would hit the wooden board accurately. Although Wang Zhong had not yet reached the level of darts, he had not learned the techniques in the past for nothing. Little Leaf Flying Dagger was the flying dagger technique that he had learned before. It was fast, accurate, and ruthless. When the knife flew out, the knife didn't miss. He could even fly out a few knives consecutively, killing people invisibly. Although Xiao Mei's practice was very standard, she still noticed Wang Zhong coming over at this time. She suddenly frowned. "Why are you ugly here?" "I'm practicing knife throwing," Wang Zhong said lightly. "It seems that you are going to compete later. You still have the mood to practice knife throwing?" Xiao Mei sneered. She was afraid that this guy was an idiot, thinking that he could hook up with her. Sure enough, it was just as her master had said. Men were not good things, especially this kind of boy with such poor looks. "I have confidence in the competition," Wang Zhong said. What a joke. Xiao Mei shook her head. She felt that Wang Zhong was bragging in front of her. Wang Zhong ignored her and took out the knife throwing. Small leaf knife throwing. The internal force in his hand rushed out and the knife flew out instantly. Duh. The knife accurately hit the wooden board in front of him. "It's quite simple," Wang Zhong said. Xiao Mei frowned. "Have you learned it before?" "I learned a little, but I didn't learn much here," Wang Zhong said and picked up 5 knives. "What are you doing?" Xiao Mei was shocked to see this scene. An absurd idea popped up in her mind. Could it be that this guy wanted to shoot out 5 flying daggers at once? Impossible. Impossible. Xiao Mei was about to laugh at her own thoughts. Shooting 5 knives at once, only the top hidden weapon master could do this. And those top masters, which one of them didn't train for 10 years? This ugly guy looked less than 18 years old. How could he have such strength? It was simply laughable. I haven't shot 5 knives at the same time for many years. Now I want to see if my skills are rusty. Wang Zhong said lightly. It has indeed been a long time, at least 100 years, sigh. But from Xiao Mei's point of view, this ugly freak was just showing off in front of her. She sneered. Stop pretending in front of me. If you can hit the wooden board in front of you at the same time, I will. What are you going to do? Wang Zhong saw that she did not speak, turned his head and asked. Huh, are you trying to trick me into betting with you? Xiao Mei's IQ was online, and she had a look of, I can see through you. Wang Zhong said, You're thinking too much. I don't have the ability to shoot these 5 flying daggers. Then why did you take it? I just wanted to give it a try. I didn't expect that you wouldn't dare to say it. Wang Zhong smiled. It was just that his face was too ugly. His current appearance was extremely horrifying, causing Xiao Mei to frown. You dare to provoke me? Xiao Mei smiled. But if you succeed, I will kneel down and call you daddy if you can hit the wooden board at the same time. Okay. Wang Zhong was a little surprised. Although this bet was a bit strange, his goal had been achieved. Don't be in a hurry to agree. Let me tell you, if you can't hit, you have to tell me what happened that night. What do you mean? Boy, don't play dumb with me. The person that night was you, wasn't it? Xiao Mei suddenly said, You peeked at me taking a bath. You took a bath? Wang Zhong was stunned. Her acting was absolutely first class. Seeing Wang Zhong's appearance, Xiao Mei coldly snorted. Just as she was about to speak again, Wang Zhong had already thrown out the flying daggers. Da-da-da. 5 flying daggers were accurately shot on the wooden board in front of them. They were lined up in a row, and the distance was precise. Wang Zhong clapped his hands and said, Fortunately, my skills are not rusty. Xiao Mei looked at this scene in shock. To be honest, Wang Zhong's speed was too fast. She did not notice what was going on. Kneel down and call me daddy. Wang Zhong said. What did you say? Xiao Mei's expression changed. You want to go back on your word? Wang Zhong said. Xiao Mei coldly snorted. Okay, I can kneel down and call you daddy, but you have to tell me what happened that night. The person who peeked at me taking a bath, was it? Before she could finish, Wang Zhong said, It was me, but I was also careless. Wang Zhong's answer was very straightforward. He had thought about it. After today, Xiao Mei would very likely recognize him, so it was better to just admit it. But if he admitted it, of course, he would have a backup plan. So when Xiao Mei was stunned, he simply said, You were also caught. I don't believe that you didn't think of leaving here. The reason why you don't think of leaving now is because you are protected. But what about us? That has nothing to do with me. Although Xiao Mei said this, her tone had already softened. At this moment, she thought of her best friend in the past. If not for her, she would not have been able to hold on. But after she was protected by He Hai, her best friend was killed by Qin Hu. I admit that I want to leave, but I can't. I want to make a deal with you. That's impossible. I will definitely expose you. Xiao Mei's tone was cold. Ever since her best friend died, she hated all men, not to mention a man as ugly as Wang Zhong. The first impression of Wang Zhong's face was disgusting. Don't be in a hurry to refuse, Wang Zhong smiled and said, I have 3 conditions. First, you don't have to kneel down and call me daddy. Scram, Xiao Mei snorted. Haha, second condition, I will teach you the throwing knife technique just now. Wang Zhong had recently inquired about Xiao Mei's strength. He knew that she was best at throwing darts, killing people without leaving a trace. And his little leaf throwing knife could be said to be the best throwing knife technique in the Great Dragon Dynasty when he was a eunuch. It was definitely stronger than Xiao Mei's. Xiao Mei raised her eyebrows. To be honest, she was very interested in the throwing knife technique Wang Zhong had just shown her. If she could learn it, her strength would definitely improve. Becoming stronger meant that her position in the organization would also increase. But this meant that she would have to compromise with Wang Zhong. This was not something she would allow. Xiao Mei's expression was cold as she snorted, "I refuse." "Don't be in a hurry. There is a third condition." Wang Zhong was expressionless as he moved closer and said, "I will help you kill Qin Hu." Wang Zhong had long seen that Xiao Mei and Qin Hu did not get along, which was why he said that. He looked at Xiao Mei's expression. If Xiao Mei still refused, he would not hesitate to use the needle he had hidden in his hand to stab her temple. At that time, he would leave immediately. Xiao Mei frowned. She did not know that she was walking through the gates of hell. She asked, "Qin Hu is very strong. Can you deal with him?" Wang Zhong loosened his grip on the needle and smiled, "I can deal with him." "Good." Xiao Mei nodded without hesitation. "If you can kill him, not only will I not tell anyone about you, I will even protect you. At least you will have a good time in the assassin training camp." Chapter 253. It's a deal. Just wait for my good news. After Wang Zhong finished speaking, he picked up 5 throwing knives. "I'll fulfill my promise first. This move of mine is called Little Leaf Flying Dagger. Watch." After that, Wang Zhong began to demonstrate. Xiao Mei didn't think that Wang Zhong would really teach her. She hurriedly looked at it seriously. The more she looked, the more shocked she became. The throwing knife technique was too perfect. 5 knives shot out at the same time, killing without leaving a trace. This move focuses on borrowing power and inner strength. You have to use your inner strength to launch 5 slashes at the same time. The only thing you have to do is to judge the position of each slash, Wang Zhong said seriously. "I understand." Xiao Mei nodded. "That's all I need to teach you. The rest is up to you to practice. As for kneeling down and calling me daddy, there's no need for that promise." Wang Zhong smiled. Xiao Mei knew that Wang Zhong was deliberately teasing her. She glared at Wang Zhong and said, If you bring this up again, don't blame me for being hostile." "I'm just joking. If there's anything you don't understand in the future, you can come and ask me. This is our promise. I hope you remember it," Wang Zhong said. "Okay, I understand." Wang Zhong stared at her and then left. Looking at Wang Zhong's back, Xiao Mei frowned. This ugly guy was different from the other students. He looked very scheming, but he gave people a feeling of trust. Bah, bah, bah. Men are all bad things. I actually trusted an ugly guy. Feeling her own thoughts, Xiao Mei hurriedly ridiculed, "This promise is purely for us to take what we need." "Yes, take what we need. Ugly guy, I hope you can deal with Qin Hu soon." On the other side, the 5 people who were preparing for today's competition had already gathered. Tanaka, Wang Zhong, Pan Dahu, and the rest of the 5 stood in a row. "You all know the rules. The 5 of you will fight randomly. Whoever stands at the end will be first." Master Hu looked at everyone and said, "Understood." "Got it." Wang Zhong and the others placed their hands behind their backs and shouted loudly. "Good. Let's start." Following the order, the 5 of them formed a circle and looked at each other warily. Because it was just a competition, weapons were not allowed. Pan Dahu's figure was the tallest. He looked at everyone and was the first to face Wang Zhong. Obviously, he did this to give everyone a hint to deal with Wang Zhong first. Unfortunately, these people all thought that Wang Zhong was easy to deal with, but Pan Dahu was more difficult to deal with. Therefore, the only woman here, Lisa, instantly kicked Pan Dahu with her long leg. Pan Dahu didn't seem to want to waste time on Lisa. He adopted a guerrilla tactic and suddenly took a step back, dodging Lisa's attack. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At the same time, Tanaka's right leg kicked out. Pan Dahu coldly snorted, "Are you all prepared to deal with me? Die." He placed his fists in front of his body to protect himself. Without dodging, he punched towards Tanaka's leg. Bang bang! Both of them retreated at the same time. Tanaka retreated more, opening up a large path in an instant. Tanaka, I didn't expect you to hide so well, Pan Dahu shouted. After he finished speaking, he looked towards Wang Zhong's direction. The person he was most wary of here was Wang Zhong, but Wang Zhong had yet to make a move. At this time, another man named Fong Ping made his move. His target was Wang Zhong. He suddenly threw a punch. Wang Zhong immediately blocked it with both hands in front of his body. This person's strength was not strong. Wang Zhong could feel this from the moment he came into contact with him. However, this person continued to attack. Kicking and punching, he continued to bombard Wang Zhong with an endless barrage of attacks. Wang Zhong's gaze was solemn as he pretended to be evenly matched with him. Fong Ping began to speed up. At this time, Pan Dahu actually abandoned Tanaka and Lisa and attacked Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong turned his head to look, shouting softly in his heart, "Tiger form fist." His inner strength flowed into his fist, and he threw a punch. He had been waiting for this moment. If Pan Dahu could kill him in one hit, it would be much easier to deal with the remaining people. Pan Dahu's expression changed drastically. No matter how stupid he was, how could he not understand that Wang Zhong was waiting for him? When he thought of this, he snorted coldly. He had been giving in to Wang Zhong all this time. On one hand, he did not know Wang Zhong's true strength. On the other hand, he had been hiding his own strength. However, when he saw Wang Zhong and Fong Ping's fight just now, Pan Dahu was amused. It turned out that this was his strength. To think that he had been giving in to Wang Zhong before. It seemed that he had been too steady in his actions. Wolf fist. Pan Dahu shouted in his heart, his fist colliding with Wang Zhong's tiger form fist. At the same time, Fong Ping also attacked Wang Zhong from behind. It was obvious that the two of them were on the same side. Wang Zhong guessed that they had come to an agreement before this. However, Wang Zhong was not worried about anything. At this moment, his inner strength had reached level 4. No matter how strong Wang Zhong was, he was worried that people like Grandpa Hu, Fan Si, and He Hai would notice something, so it was better to keep a low profile. However, even at level 4, his strength was much stronger than Pan Dahu's. In an instant, Pan Dahu was sent flying by a fist that looked like a tiger's head. Bam bam. The fist that looked like a tiger's head seemed to have bitten Pan Dahu's fist. Pan Dahu felt as if his fist had been bitten. He struggled to free himself, but in the end, he was sent flying and fell to the ground. So strong. Pan Dahu's face was cold. His right hand was trembling. The attack just now had damaged the muscles in his hand. He could not continue fighting. Bam! At this moment, Wang Zhong kicked away Fong Ping, who was about to sneak an attack on him. Fong Ping spat out a mouthful of blood. He looked as miserable as he could. With an expressionless face, Wang Zhong walked towards Pan Dahu. He wanted to press his advantage and finish off Pan Dahu in one fell swoop. Wait, I surrender. Pan Dahu's hand was trembling. He was a smart person. He knew that his hand was injured and he had no strength to continue fighting. If he continued fighting, even if he did not die, his hand would be crippled. Once he lost his ability to fight, he would be seen as useless by the organization. Once he lost his value here, he would die without a doubt. Therefore, the smart thing to do was to surrender. Although it was embarrassing and he could not be first, he could at least be second, right? This was definitely a smart choice. Wang Zhong paused. Pan Dahu had already surrendered, so he could not continue to kill him. Moreover, there was not much enmity between them. There was no need to risk breaking the rules by killing Pan Dahu. As Pan Dahu surrendered, Fong Ping's eyes rolled back and he fainted. Tanaka said crisply, "I surrender." Lisa knew her limits. After all, they had seen Wang Zhong and Pan Dahu's move just now. She was definitely no match for them. "I surrender too," Lisa said. At this point, only Wang Zhong was left in the arena. "I've won." Wang Zhong looked at the arena and glanced at Xiao Mei. He Hai noticed this and frowned. She whispered, "Xiao Mei, you seem to be quite close to this ugly freak." Chapter 254. Xiao Mei was stunned. She didn't expect her master's senses to be so sharp. She replied in a low voice, "When I was practicing darts, he came over and we chatted for a while. I remember that you hate men the most. Why were you chatting so passionately with this ugly guy?" He asked calmly. "Master, we only talked about darts." "We didn't talk passionately," Xiao Mei reminded her. "Yes, I'm just reminding you that men aren't good things, especially this ugly guy. Look at the way he looks at you. I feel disgusted just by looking at him." "Understood, Master," Xiao Mei said. "I've given you the names of the experts here. Did you find out who left the camp that night?" Xiao Mei shook her head. "I'm not sure." "Well, then forget it. Anyway, there are many people here. They probably ran away and realized that they couldn't leave, so they came back. After a few days, I'll implant microchips into the people here. Even if they are disloyal, it won't matter to us." Xiao Mei nodded. They had all been implanted with microchips. Hence, no matter how far away they were, the people in the organization wouldn't worry about them betraying them. This was the threat of microchips. He quickly left with her people. Wang Zhong came to Qin Hu alone. "Master Hu." Wang Zhong stood straight in front of Qin Hu. "Tang Yi, I didn't expect you to win. You won so easily too. Very good. I admit that I misjudged you. Thank you for your praise, Master Hu. As first place, you will have your own place to live. You will have the chance to eat for the first time. You can bathe and don't need to participate in training. You can choose a woman you like to accompany you. This is limited to the women in the camp." Qin Hu explained the privileges of first place. Wang Zhong had already memorized all of this by heart, so he wasn't surprised. "Okay, get lost. I hope you don't slack off just because you are first place. Otherwise, you'll end up in a miserable state." "Understood, Master Hu." Wang Zhong turned and left. Looking at Wang Xiao, who didn't know what to do, Wang Zhong hugged her. "Let's go. Sleep with me." His tone was quite domineering. The people around them were secretly envious. This was the privilege of being in first place. After he got tired of Wang Xiao, he even had the right to choose other women. Of course, the real champion would not do this, because martial artists also had to pay attention to moderation. Unrestrained enjoyment would fall behind. From a certain perspective, this was also a type of challenge. It all depended on the temperament of the person in first place. Wang Xiao gritted her teeth and allowed Wang Zhong to bring her away. Although she knew that she would lose her virginity sooner or later, she didn't expect it to happen so quickly. "Are all men the same?" Tears welled up in Wang Xiao's eyes as she glanced at Wang Zhong beside her. "But he clearly saved me. If not for him, I'm afraid I would still be being bullied. I might even have died long ago." "Forget it, compared to being bullied by others, being bullied by Tang Yi like that seems a little better. It's just that he's a little ugly." After all, she was still a little girl. Some girls' temperaments had not been completely obliterated by training. After entering the house, Wang Zhong closed the door. When he turned around, Wang Zhong was stunned for a moment. He saw a pair of petite and dainty girls in front of him. Big Brother Tang. Wang Xiao nervously faced him and closed her eyes as if she was preparing for something. "This child, why is she so proactive?" With a sigh, Wang Zhong picked up the blanket and draped it over her. "Big Brother Tang, you." Wang Xiao was surprised. "Listen to what I have to say. Don't move. I want to check the microchip behind your ear," Wang Zhong said seriously. During this period, Wang Zhong also gradually knew that they would be implanted with this microchip sooner or later. So for safety's sake, he decided to understand this thing in advance. When the microchip was implanted in his ear, he would think of a way to remove it. And Wang Xiao was a good test subject. Although he wouldn't remove the microchip for the time being, at least he could understand its structure. "Big Brother Tang, you mean there's a way to remove the microchip?" Wang Xiao was also quite smart. She saw Wang Zhong's purpose and quickly asked. It's just a check. I suspect that this thing is not simple. If you rashly remove it, I'm afraid it will be troublesome. Well, I'll listen to Big Brother Tang. Wang Xiaoro thought for a moment and said, Oh, you're not afraid of an accident? Wang Zhong looked at Wang Xiaoro with some surprise and said with a smile, You have to understand that if this microchip is not handled properly, it may bring about a fatal disaster for you. Big Brother Tang, I understand these principles, but at least you gave me hope. I'm just a death warrior and will die sooner or later. If I didn't meet you, I'm afraid I'll be worse than a dog. It's you who gave me hope. With that, Wang Xiaoro held Wang Zhong's arm and said, Moreover, you're different from other men. At least you're upright. I can see that although you're ugly, you're very gentle. Although this woman was young, she was quite sensible. Wang Zhong didn't say anything at this moment. He nodded and said, Okay, lie down. I'll check the back of your ear. The next step was to start the examination. Pushing aside Wang Xiaoro's ear, a small wound that had already healed appeared in front of him. The wound had recovered very well. He gently pressed it and could feel that it was hard inside, as if there was something hidden inside. Does it hurt when I press it? Wang Zhong asked. Wang Xiaoro shook her head and said, It's okay. I'll obviously inject a part of my internal strength to check the problem inside. Wang Zhong said. Big Brother Tang, you also know this? Wang Xiaoro was curious. To be honest, she had also cultivated some internal strength. But as far as she knew, the use of internal strength was only for attack and defense. If you want to check something, it was said that it required skillful use and some cultivation methods. But now it seemed that Big Brother Tang had already learned it. Yes. Wang Zhong didn't say much. He was very familiar with this move when he used internal strength in his previous life. Although there were some differences between internal strength and internal strength, they were more or less the same. Once cultivated, the way to use it was the same. Immediately, a wisp of internal strength was released. Wang Xiaoro only felt that the back of her ear was warm, as if something was scratching it. And in Wang Zhong's view, his internal strength was like the palm of his hand, which could touch Wang Xiaoro's meridians, tendons, skin, and flesh. This feeling was too clear and too obvious. Under the ear wound, there was indeed a foreign object that was different from the flesh. It felt soft, but it wasn't made of iron. According to his view, it should be some kind of capsule with a plastic chip inside. But there was some liquid around the chip. This feeling was very strange. The amount of liquid wasn't much, but it gave Wang Zhong a very dangerous feeling. Suddenly, his heart stirred. No, this liquid was a miniature bomb. Boom. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.